I have to delete this because I don't need the Tiefling Scoundrel equipment, and I think we are good. And the new resources I need to buy. I bought heal scrolls. I'm going to buy some resources. So, welcome back, everybody, to solo Bard playthrough. This is my character Fiddle Faddle. My ears hurt. The goal of this character is simply to play through the entire game solo as a spellcaster to give you the contrast for the solo experience I had with my fighter. And so the character, plays remarkably similarly, but not exactly the same. Especially because I'm a lot squishier, so I only have 322 hit points at level 15, whereas my fighter had like 800. So again, a little bit of a contrast. Character's a lot squishier than the alternative. However, you'll see that that's not really that big of a deal because of how quickly every monster in the entire galaxy is going to die. My character is a walking death machine and will destroy everything in its path because I'm playing the class Bard. Bard, of course, as everybody knows, is the most dangerous class in the entire game. However, before I continue, I'm going to buy some scrolls. I'm going to polish off my heal scrolls. I don't need heal scrolls for actual healing purposes, in terms of like getting my health back, because I heal perfectly fine. But I do need heal scrolls because they allow me to get rid of afflictions on myself and others. I'm also going to be grabbing scrolls here. So this is Greater Resto. So 30 or 76 of these. I'm just going to make sure I have all of them. So in case there's anything bad that happens to me, I can always just cure all of these problems. And then I'm just going to be grabbing some more resist potions, again, to make sure my character is staying up to snuff. Another thing that's going to be very, very odd, and that might seem odd. Oh, did I buy these from the other vendor? I bought these from the wrong vendor. Oh, it's annoying. Well, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this and put the right vendor on. So these ones. Oh, I bought them from the House K vendor, which is silly of me. I'm going to buy something that seems really weird, which are Scrolls of Resurrection. And the reason I'm buying Scrolls of Resurrection is because when I'm using hirelings, sometimes they're going to die. And you can actually resurrect hirelings on hardcore, so it's pretty useful. Legendary Shroud sucks. It's such a pain farming an item. It is. That's one of the reasons why I actually almost never recommend farming stuff from Legendary Shroud, because it's just not very fun. And you can get 90% of the effectiveness by not doing Legendary Shroud. So why would you? You know what I mean? Like, especially the Shroud benefits can be gotten. Like, yeah, you could farm out Legendary Shroud and go craft yourself a Legendary Ash weapon. Or alternatively, you could just go farm out that dude in Isle of Dread, and then you're all set. So yeah. How do I call my mount so quickly? So I call my mount quickly by pressing the key on the keyboard. So you can keybind. You can keybind the mounts instead of having to go to the stable. Just like how inventory items, you can put them on your action bar. You can put mounts on your action bar. And then I hit the keybind on my action bar to call my mount. I need curse removal potions. I need 90 more of these. Okay, so I have all the potions I need, so I'm all set. Why does the vendor of the scroll matter? Because the House Kandaric scrolls and stuff are all bound. Everything you buy to the House Kandaric vendors, because they're guild, so they're at a lower price, so they're bound to character when you buy them. And so as a result, they just don't stack with the unbound stuff, because they're technically different items. But you also get them cheaper, so yeah. For your trapping item, yeah, I mean, you technically don't need the larges. The smalls and mediums are usually pretty good. All right, so my character is level 13, so I have a lot of 15, so I have a lot of options in terms of 13s that I can do. One of the quests that I usually like to do is Memoirs of an Illusory Larcener as a testing ground for characters. So I think I'm going to do Memoirs of an Illusory Larcener. That should go okay. After that, we're going to run through Gianthold and do some other stuff, and it should be fine. The other benefit of Memoirs is that there's a helmet that drops out of there. And while I don't want to replace mine, if I get a Pansophic Circlet, I might think about it because it's really good. Infinitely better life without Shroud than you can actually playing Shroud. Depends. Like I said, the fact that the trapping gear also comes online at 26 is kind of good. So I'm going to talk to this bad boy. Level 20 with my Dark Apostate Shader Kai. It's going to be able to swap out level 6 Sword. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I'm also still using hirelings, as I said before, because the hirelings are really good. So you always want to use the best hireling you can. And I recommend any of the favorite soul hirelings because they're quite useful. So I got Larafay here with me. She is a killer. You can tell she's a killer because it says she is capable of healing, but Larafay's specialty lies in channeling the fury of the heavens to obliterate threats. Again, it's the wording that's important. Yeah, she can heal. That is technically true. But she can also murder everything within a 12-mile radius. And that's pretty cool. So we're going to be doing that. Reaper 5 on that? Oh, you're doing Reaper 5? Nice, that's good, dude. Glad to hear that. The meth is greater than L. Arafay. Hilarious. Yeah, it takes time to like work your way through the different Reaper difficulties, in terms of like just learning better ways to position, better ways to place to place yourself, how to prioritize different targets. So it can take a while to like actually learn to get through those things. And honestly, that's what we did when Reaper mode first released. You started out running Reaper 1 and then 2 and then 3, and we were gradually working up. Nowadays, because there's so many people that actually play at the higher Reaper difficulty, it can be difficult to find a group that is willing to like go through and gradually kind of learn the system, which can make it a little bit more complicated if you're somebody who's like brand new and getting started, which can be again a little rough. Chain lightning. I do like chain lightning. It's getting the job done. I also like that Larafay can attack stuff through walls. Pretty fun. I have to be a little mindful about champions, but other than that, I'm pretty good. Also, since my spell points passively come back, I can just like be patient, and eventually all of my spell points will come back to me, which is not too bad. Also, this guy has evasion, which is fantastic. I forgot about the courier having evasion. This is where it starts to get a little bit rough on playing a Spellsinger or any spellcaster in general, is where all the monsters start to have evasion, which can be deeply frustrating as any type of spellcaster that has to rely on that. And it gets even worse when they get improved evasion. Fortunately, Shout, you don't have to deal with evasion at all. But yeah, my Snowball Swarm and other abilities are kind of frustrating. Fortunately, this guy does not really do a lot of damage, so my passive healing, just from my song, keeps me alive. And again, there's a lot of time here, so I can just like kind of wait to get my mana back. Just pretend that R10 is a Souls game, and you'll suffer till you get it? I mean, yeah, you can. And correct, yes, Larafay is obviously better because she has more mana. Are you going to partake in the Great Migration to Orion? No. I think that, if I'm being honest, I think that the majority of people that are going to Orion are, or like they're saying they're going to do it, are memeing, because you have to understand that like, when you want to transfer servers, a lot of things that you're going to be transferring don't come with you, right? So things that don't come with you when you transfer servers are your shared bank, which you can transfer, but it takes some time. All of your mounts, all of your pets. Did you happen to, partake in one of the events that Dungeons & Dragons Online did, where like Cordovan went to a server, and then he dropped down all sorts of cool exclusive pets, like the pet rock? Guess what? Your pet rock is now stuck on your previous server, so you have to give up on all of those things, which might not matter to some people, but it does matter to a lot of people. On top of that, your guild ship. I don't want to have to buy a new guild ship, but a lot of people, I guess, don't mind spending the extra $250 to $300. So that's also another thing. Also, as somebody who plays on Arganesson, which is the highest population server, Arganesson is laggy. It just straight up is. And I think a lot of people are not ready for how laggy, if they actually do decide to do some type of large migration, it's going to be a major problem. So for me, my current plan is on the day when the transfers go active, I'm going to be leaving DDO Audit auto-refreshing on my other monitor, and I will be passively looking over at DDO Audit as the day goes on and on, to see exactly what's going on, and then mostly just eat some popcorn and watch from afar. Watch the spectacle as it goes on. I think that's going to be the play, if I'm being honest. It's the best move for the maximum entertainment value. Okay, come on, Larafay, help me with this guy. He's got evasion, and there's nothing I can do. Actually, I can still hit him, but 33 is a little low. Did you try the updated Acolyte of the Skin? Nothing worked on Acolyte of the Skin, so I logged in, I looked at some of the abilities and read the descriptions and text, and then I logged off.
How many adventurers?
Hopefully by the next preview, it will actually work, so I'll be able to look it over.
So peaceful and fun.
So we'll see. Also, your monster manual, true, yeah. 30% of the people saying they're transferring are transferring? Yeah, probably. Which is still, like, a lot of people. But it also depends on their friends. Like, if a whole guild is transferring, then maybe. But if you're part of a guild, and some people say they're going to do it, and then no one else is saying they're going to do it, the people that said they're going to do it probably aren't going to, because they're probably going to stick with their friends, which makes sense. Also, what's up, horse? How are you doing?
A mean trick, I know, and I do apologize.
Oh, man, that only hit one person? Oh, amazing.
Trapped in a clearing in the woods with
yeah, my DCs are becoming a little bit of a problem because they're lower than I would want here, which for this quest makes it difficult. Also, apparently I just flubbed on my Incendiary Cloud check, which is kind of funny. So the benefit of this character is I don't really take a whole lot of damage because I have so much passive healing, but it's the mana cost. That's what's going to be driving the challenge on this character, I think. Solo Bard, you bet. Using the beam shape attack. Yep. To my understanding, a lot of the art for that stuff isn't done. Also, I did test out a little bit. The actual targeting is a little wonky, and I think they need to improve that. The main issue with the beam is it's super antithetical to everything else. The entire tree is be in melee, and then the beam is be as far away as possible to actually use the beam. So I hope that the beam is adjusted a little bit so it makes a little bit more sense with the actual tree. If not, you're just going to be using cone. So, which is fine, because it's easy to get cone. I don't want to move servers in part because most people enjoy playing with won't move, because I assume only a few people are actually planning to move to Orient. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a lot of people that are talking about doing it, and there's not going to be that many that actually do it on the day. But as I said, I'm definitely going to watch with popcorn in hand. Excited to see what happens. I don't want Stormsinger's inspiration. I don't care about Ride the Lightning. Charisma is kind of good because I do need extra charisma. Because will that give me an extra point? It won't. I don't know where to spend my point. Anyway, I'm going to go do Gianthold now, which should be nice and fun. Gonna grab my house P buffs. But yeah, character working pretty good so far. I was mildly worried about that quest, and I finished with spell points to spare, so I don't think this character is going to be running into any trouble coming on soon. New picks of having transfer boy 1 to 7 on your character list. I need a good laugh. I mean, yeah, you can. If you're somebody who is obviously playing, if you're somebody who plays on Orion, you can make characters on other servers and then gold roll and then transfer those characters with all of their gold rolled contents over to your main server if you want. Again, I'm not going to do that. I'm too lazy to even gold roll on my own server, where if it wasn't for the live stream, I would probably forget to do it pretty much every single day of the week, because, I don't know, I just, like, don't really care. I just, don't really care. But yeah. Too late to do that anyway. Well, you can transfer, like, a couple things. There are people that actually log into every server every day and every week to do their gold and silver rolls, and then, you know, just sit with all that stuff, which to me is I think it's a great amount of dedication. Like, I personally wouldn't do that, but the fact that there are people out there that are willing to dedicate their time to doing something like that is very cool. My rules to get rid of the icon? Yep. Yeah, a lot of people don't like seeing the icon there. I was gonna say, is it supposed to be snowing in Gianthold? I don't think so. I thought that filter would go away. Also, pro tip on your bard, always, if you can, use bardic inspiration as you go through town. Oh, that's why my charisma was low. I forgot I don't have a charisma item on. That's why my DCs seemed a little lower. I actually need a charisma item. I do have one. I'd have to give up False Life 17 and Sonic Lore, but I could equip a Charisma 7 ring that I have in my inventory. Here. And so I haven't thought about it, but then I have to give up on the False Life, and I don't really want to give up on 17 health, so I haven't currently done that, but if... We'll think about it. Maybe when I move on to like Sharn or something, it'll be necessary to put on. But I like having the hit points.
Safety must be called.
I know. I like Snowy Gianthold. I think it looks really good.
Blood. What blood
Is it because I was pissed off at how this whole thing was handled? Yeah. Like I said, a major blunder on SSG's part was to have Cordovan get up on stage and say, "Yeah, we don't really have anything planned. We haven't really been thinking about stuff." That was a bit of a, how they say, slap in the face. So yeah, there's traps here, but you can just run through and you won't get hit. There also doesn't necessarily be traps here. There could be traps here, so you just hug the left, so you don't have to worry about getting hit by those traps either. I'm showing everybody how to get past all these traps. Woo. 150 hours of Elixir of Discovering. That's an interesting concept, yeah. And you just kind of get them. Think about how much gear you could get. Think about the items. The equipment. Think about the children. This one, again, open the door from the middle. There could be crazy spike traps on this. There's nothing here. The Hisararchs, whatever they're called, Hisarach. I actually don't know how to pronounce that word. Those guys cast Disintegrate. And again, every door always open from the middle. I don't know if there's a trick to actually knowing which door the guy is hiding behind, the orc that has the key. I actually have no idea. So if you know, leave a comment below. Why do you use Rage if you're not using your Strength? Because Rage gives Constitution, and Constitution gives hit points, and I don't have a lot of hit points because I'm a Bard. So that's why. There is a trap in that hallway I just ran through. I've never seen it go off. I actually don't know what the trigger is for it. Also, when your stone skin falls off, make sure you stone skin again. And AoEs. Again, Gianthold's a lot easier because in Gianthold, the monsters obviously deal significantly less damage per strike, and they have way less health, and their saves are lower. So Gianthold's going to be a little bit easier for this character. And yes, Chain Lightning is amazing. What things from expansions do I get for starting on a new server? I don't know. What depends on what expansions you bought, and then also, so if you own anything higher than well, every expansion has bonuses, so I'd recommend going to the expansion pages. But Isle of Dread and Saltmarsh give their bonuses from vendors. Everyone else, you have to like log in and collect. But again, it depends on the expansions that you bought. The really good stuff, like the XP potions and things that you get for the first time login, is only on the old expansions, like the really old content. So, same thing, you use from the middle, so just inch along here, because if there is a big spike trap, I don't want to get killed by it. Free up the Rage, and this guy. Heresiarch. Heresiarch? Man, I'm never going to learn that one. Same thing here. Again, use from the middle. Inch, 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 use. That could have killed me if I didn't use it from the middle. So, reminder, use that from the middle. There's your lesson of the day. Kill the Heresiarch before he hits me with Disintegrate, and I roll a 1. Which I have died to rolling a 1 to that on Hardcore League without paying attention, so yeah. Look, it looks like everyone thought the attack was a constant beam. Me too. I actually thought the beam was going to be a constant thing where you just kind of blast the beam out and things within it take damage, updating like every second or whatever it is. So you hold the beam and it deals damage in an area, and then it just ticks every second or so. That's what I thought it was going to be. The fact that it is just like a piercing blast is definitely not what I was expecting. And again, I'm not the only person that was that had that opinion. I don't necessarily think it's bad. I just think it's completely counterintuitive to the tree. Like, Beam would make a lot more sense in the Soul Eater tree than it does in the, what do you call it? The Acolyte of the Skin tree. Also, Wrath of Grimskin is annoying because he has improved evasion, so you just gotta blow him up however you can. I'm gonna go outside, drop my Dimension Door, and then take my Dimension Door. The reason why I don't want to fight all those monsters is because there's just spellcasters everywhere. Also, the reason why you don't cast the spells from inside is because if you drop the Dimension Door inside the tent, sometimes it'll pop up above the tent. Also, Goro gifted a sub to Chris. That's very kind of you, Goro. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Also, I went over to that waterfall because it gives you XP.
When I first arrived,
There's that. Also, I think the current attack could be good if the beam travels way faster. Probably, yeah. The tree should have some chain sneak stuff. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it should be chain themed. I think that, I mean, to be fair, Infernal Chains is an ability that is granted to fiends and from fiends, so probably. Did you do your Lamania check on the Sork build yet? I was going to, Squirrel Patrol, but I ran into a problem where 3 of the items that I need come from Slave Lords, and Slave Lords is not on Lamania. So I actually just have to straight up farm it out, which is not going to take me that long. When Hardcore is over, that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'll be going back to the regular server and finishing off my Sorcerer, and then, yeah, having something there for you. Does the supplies thing from Sharn and Ravenloft get added to every server? Just first login. Just first login. It's only one time. Autos boxes, 1 per account. It'd be good if the beam travels faster. I also agree. I think the beam should travel faster. Wholeheartedly agree. No. The projectile speed should be like double. Because it's like this beam. It should snipe people out. About a 28 wizard? Well, if you got 28 levels in wizard, hoo-hoo, my man, you've got a good build. Hell yeah. Teach me how to get the 28 levels of wizard. Also, what happened to my Hirelink? Why did Larafay disappear? Resummon. That's how we do that. But I thought about the idea of doing a bard instead, where you take the Acolyte of the Skin plus the auras and stuff, and you basically play as a War Chanter, but you get all of the bonus damage from, you know, the Acolyte of the Skin passive stuff. So you're gonna have like the War Chanter things applying, the extra crit chance applying from War Chanter, and basically be like a pseudo spellcaster and just use it to apply like debuffs and raids. Yeah, I think everybody was hoping for the beam to be continuous, and it just wasn't, which is unfortunate. Also, a quick one was slain, so they were right. Yeah, they did have a quick one. Hobgoblin Infiltrator at 7. Where are their infiltrators at 7? Late Tangle Root. Over-leveled for Irestone. Over-leveled for Shantikor. Or actually appropriately leveled. Shantikor 3 is level 5. You know. That's true. Also, for those of you who are wondering if I'm going to be doing a trap-based version of the solo playthrough, the answer is yes, I will be doing that. But I'll be doing that using Dark Hunter, because 1, it's going to be free, and 2, it will be the best character to learn the game with in terms of traps, because the character doesn't take basically any damage from traps. It has an ability that makes it so it takes 50% damage from all traps while wearing medium armor, and this ability is bananas. It basically makes you trap invincible, so you can eat every trap as you play through the game, and then go, oh, there's a trap here, and then learn how to disable it and how to figure it out. So, return. Sentinels? No, they have a different name. They're called the Blood Tide something in the Sentinels. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah, there's also the Spike Trap Dark Hunter, which... or Spike Growth Dark Hunter, which, you know, is an option, I think, for some. I'm not going to say it's the best option, but I'm also not going to say it isn't the best option, you know? You have a Warlock with Eldritch Blast to make up for low SP. Oh, like a Wizard. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be bad maybe for a First Life character, which would be kind of cool. Maybe when you're running on Hardcore League, like day 1. Just having Eldritch Blast. And you have to take the feats. And as a wizard, you already are able to take all the meta magic feats. So I can see that working. And it has a and Eldritch Blast is cool because it's a DC of 19. I could see all of that working. Now you have me thinking. That is a very interesting day 1 character. Why would you need 2 levels? I guess you.
Sorry, I didn't.
You need 3 for Cone, right? Well, I guess you get Chain. Also, Nox. Don't worry about apologizing for resub. I'm just glad you tuned in. So thank you for the support. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're doing good. I appreciate that. Glad to have you here. Same thing with Mudchuk. Welcome back, both of you. Man, 13 months, 16 months. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. The live stream's getting older. I'm getting older. We're all getting older, which is not something anybody wants to think about, so I'm not going to make you think about that anymore. But again, thank you for the support, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're doing super well. You're also going to notice that even just something as simple as recalling, because unlike the fighter who has to clear the room and then recall, this character, I don't have to clear any rooms. I can just cast Dimension Door and then touch the door to leave quests. The leveling speed of this character is going to be dramatically faster than the fighter. I came to kill that rare because he was up here. It's not always here, but you just have to look, and if it's there, you kill it. The reason why I decided to do this is because, or like in the fashion that I go about it, you got to think about how every time you recall, I think it's like 12 seconds or 10 seconds to recall out of a quest, whereas if you Dimension Door, you cut that time in half or less, and over 100 quests, that's saving you like several minutes. I think somebody did the math, it's almost like 30 minutes of straight recalling if you don't use Dimension Door ever, so it's kind of a fun problem. Question, where do I get access to all the adventure packs in the store when you're VIP? So this is a stupid problem with DDO. The way the store is set up, if you are VIP, the game thinks you own all the adventure packs. Also, you need a hireling for this quest because you need somebody to pull the levers to let you through stuff. Is Hardcore still up? This is Hardcore League, yeah. This is the last week of Hardcore as per the title of the live stream. 2 levels for Shane, that makes sense. Does Acolyte make Warlock multi-class work? Yes, because the way that Acolyte of the Skin works is it's sort of like the Monk feats, where, I don't know if you've ever played Monk before, but Monks have, like, different elemental stances, and they gain power as you gain monk levels. But instead, what you can do, there could be a trap here, so I'm just going to grab the lever and then back up against the wall. So grab the lever and back up. Go. So what you can do is you also notice I switch to my shield every single time. Always switch to a heavy shield if you think you might walk into a trap, because the heavy shield will double my physical resistance rating versus said trap, which is very helpful. But what was I saying? Yeah, anyway, you can basically, even though you get a lot of the dice from the levels, you can instead take feats to get those dice at the appropriate warlock levels. So if you happen to be one level of warlock, but your character is level 6, you can take the feat that the warlock would get for free for the dice. So I'm going to show you how to do this 2 ways. I'm going to show you the jump route and then also the through the maze route. So the jump route, what you do is you jump up onto this, and then you climb over here, and then you jump up onto this, and now you're above the maze. So that's how a lot of people will do it, and then basically you just either jump from here if you have feather falling, or you climb along this wall over here, and then that basically puts you at the end, and then you work backwards. I'm going to show you how to get through this without that problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to get myself into this area over here. So one of these is going to be real, and the other one is a trap. The trap is here. It is not underneath. I'm wrong. The trap is definitely there. Good thing this is trial and error. You know, you get to learn these lessons. So there we go. Anyway, pull this, and it's going to open. So now my hireling is going to be stuck in this room. They're probably going to teleport to me, but that doesn't really matter. This is the lever you have to pull. This lever, being down, causes this door underwater to be open. That's what causes it. So what you do is, if you have multiple people, you just stay in this room, right? So say you're in here, your friend comes over here, they pull this lever, and then they're locked inside. So you outside, just pull the lever over there, it opens the door, they can leave, and then they just come in here, pull this, and it lets you out. So it's really easy to do. However, I'm not playing, I'm playing by myself. I don't need a friend, I have a teleporting friend. So what you do is you get Larafay, you just click on the lever, and then that's it. I use it, and I can pull her back, so now the underwater door is open. And then same thing, I'm going to get her to use this, and then we're all set. I could have also waited and just let myself go through here, but whatever. It is what it is. And that's how we do that. Also, Goro gifted a bunch of subs! Dude, thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad to have you here. And I hope you're enjoying the stream and you're learning something. Because I'm having a really good time. And I'm enjoying playing the solo bard. I'm enjoying talking about some of the new class changes. Today's just a good day. Today is just a good day. Yeah, trial and error, emphasis on the error. So thank you for the support. Welcome to the stream team. Hades, Haley, Emerald, Ray, Gaming while vaping, and Leviathan. Important note, the reason why I went and pulled that right lever is because this lever here opens this door. So to get this door open to get through, you have to, none of these ones work. You have to pull this one here, which opens that door. Also, I'm not going to talk about the quest for a minute because there's a hype train going on my channel, which means that a bunch of people are being very generous on this day of days and are showing me tons of support. So thank you so much. It's incredibly kind of you. Welcome to the stream team. So many people. Horse, thank you for 10 gifted subs. Chill Touch with 5. My God, dude, that's so kind of you. Insane. Oh yeah, worth pointing out. If there's 2 levers, that means one of them is definitely trapped. So thank you, everybody. That is really, really, really kind. Holy guacamole. Speaking of which, all of these could be trapped. So I'm just going to send in the hireling, and the hireling is going to take care of it. Or they're going to get eaten by trap every time. Oh! It's always one of these that opens this door, so it's basically a 1 in 6, and I got it first try. Hell yeah. That is unbelievable. Oh my God, so many gifted subs. You also need the hireling to be out here, because you need somebody to pull this lever down here. Oh my God, oh my God. No, go down and pull the lever. That's not how you do that, Larafay. That's not how you do that. I'm going to put you on passive so you can learn your lesson. Please help me with the door. Larafay, please. Rogue. And then usually you would need another person to help you get through that, but this is solo, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I'm going to actually focus on this. So, Horse, thank you so much for giving out 10 subs. Welcome to Stream Team Ehawker. Prutel, there are blade traps here. If you walk in these, you're going to die.
Completed.
Also, only one of these 3 is the real one, so you got to pull it and run away. So that's not right. Again, there's blade traps right here. Don't touch those. Same thing. Do this. Run and jump. I got the wrong one. And as I said, that's one of the reasons why you want to
Quest
run and jump to the
completed.
moment you pull it. Welcome to the stream team: Ehawker, Prutel, Hunter, Raider, Death Jester 74, Wolfblade 123, Rogue Dex, Lion Frogs, Dees, Jacka, Zal, Navris, and Vecna Greyhawk Horse. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Very, very kind of you. Again, you show me so much support, and that's very generous. Also, Chill Touch with the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing good.
Quest
Arctic Wolf
completed.
Gaming, welcome. Pectoid, Lugal, Zagazi, Doggy on board. I was trying to think about how to exactly pronounce that name because I thought it was like Dog U or something like that, and couldn't figure out what it was saying. And Mike Carter, welcome all of you to the stream team. And dude, thank you so much for the continued support. The madness. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're enjoying
Quest
yourself today.
completed.
God damn. And then Lobo, welcome as well. Runt Jr. gifting a 5. Dude, you guys are showing me so much support. I don't even have time to think or use my brainstem right now. So Lobo, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Very, very, very kind of you. Or not the gifted sub, to actually subbing yourself. But we're going to be heading over to the other quest. Runt Jr. thank you for 5. Franco, Adonam, Nyquil, Jaldinsikon, Quality Crits, and Wolf Kobold. Thank you, all of you. Again, very, very kind. And then, of course, gifting out another 9 subs, which is so many, which is very, very kind. So welcome to the stream team. Alb Carnage, Brand, Grimgro, Ratward, Sycamorty, Sleepy Doodoo, the Pit Dragons, Love Forward Dog, Low Flyin', and then also, again, for giving a sub to Johnny Co. Thank you so much. Very, very generous of all of you. Holy guacamole, that is a hype train. I gotta tell you what, that one's going all the way to, trains, they gotta stay on the track, they gotta go, in some type of landlocked based arrangement, but not this train. This train's got rocket boosters on the back of it. We're going straight into the moon. We're gonna launch a train at the moon carrying nuclear equipment. We're gonna blow up the moon this live stream. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that, you all guys. Also, Kalari with the bits. Of course, even more bits. Goro, more bits. Thank you, guys. It's unbelievable. This is a level 8 hype train.
Sussy.
And also Amogus, correct, yeah. I like how Amogus and Sus are now part of the permanent vernacular on this website. It's very helpful.
Level 8?
That's right. And then Rod Jr. also gifted a sub. Again, welcome to the stream team for Cupson. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And I hope you're all doing very, very, very good. My God. I'm just chilling here trying to do some solo bard exercises.
Oh,
I'm sure you to get past some death
it.
traps. Yeah. And Pixelated Phrygian, thanks so much for the gifted. Oh my God, dude. Or no, for the bits. That's very kind. Guys, I just started the live stream. I barely started talking. My brain is still learning to fire. Unreal. Very generous. Very generous. I really appreciate that. Can we do the first week of hardcore? No, we can't. Wait, that means pump the brakes. We need the moon. You don't need the moon. That is moon propaganda. You definitely don't need the moon. Just straight up fact. Sorry. Also, Foundation of Discord here. We'll be running Foundation of Discord. This is a very trap-filled quest. There is one extreme death trap. I'm going to show you how to avoid the extreme death trap. In between, Pixelated Phrygian, give me 9 subs. You guys, I just started live streaming. So, thank you for the unbelievable quantity of support you're showing me before I even do anything entertaining, funny, or insightful, or interesting. All I do is sit here and do nothing. So, that's a lot of subs. So welcome to stream team. Nighthawk, Tim Doors, Runic Wolf, Von Lormic, IMT, Shazmir, Viper the Bard, Princess Sin, and Melanie. I want to point out another thing about this is if you're looking at my spell points and be like, man, this guy gets good load on spell points. I'm skipping every shrine unlike before. There is possibly a trap on this door. Pop on the shield, run through, and we're good. Always make sure to pop on the shield if you think there could be a trap because it reduces the damage you take. Also, Goro, thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the dollar man. That's very, very kind of you. We're almost there. It's literally at 95%.
It's a new moon record.
Yeah, it's at 95% towards the next one. It's almost there. That is almost 1 tier higher. There could be a trap here. It's just a jet trap. It doesn't do damage, so I don't care. And it didn't do damage. Cool. So since I didn't see any of the first 2 randomly generated traps, that means there could be a randomly generated trap in this hallway. It is one of the most deadliest traps in heroics. How do you solve this problem? You put your hireling on passive, so the hireling won't attack the monsters and stop, and you just send it through. Goodbye, back up all the way. And there was no trap there. Very cool. So we're all set. And then Horse gifted out 1 more sub, as well as Deadshot with the bits. Horse, thank you so much for gifting out a sub to My Hot Sussy Baka. Very sussy, very hot. Thank you so much for the support. Very, very kind of you. And Deadshot with the 100 bits. That means we did it. Look at that. Level 8. Level 8's pretty good. That's Dimension Door on Sorcerer. You know, that's improved critical on fighters, which is, like, honestly, improved critical, pretty good feat. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Good feat. So, very, very grateful to the support.
Does anyone here know
Appreciate
the
that.
Lunar Knights from Aquatine Hunger Force? It's a new moon record.
You know, I was around, that was like my age group, but I never really watched a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Gonna be honest. It's a show I totally missed. Also, there's a deadly blade trap here. That's why I jumped over this area. You want to jump over that when you go backwards. Also, Larafay is just chilling inside of it. But yeah, that was a TV show that I remember seeing on the television and not really watching. There's a stealth monster in here called Mars the Dynamo. He does sneak attack damage, so you want to be careful about that thing. Also, there's an extra thing here. I also miss C-Lab. I started to watch some C-Lab as I got older. I watched a few episodes. It's very fun, very entertaining. Why does it still say 95%? I don't think it says. On my screen, it says 7%. But if it says 95, push it over the top. Thank you so much, Deadshot. Appreciate the bits. Very, very kind of you. Very, very generous. You guys have shown me such love and support today. And I'm going to repay that by ending the live stream. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, everybody. Have yourself a good rest of your day. We'll be back later when you want to give me more money. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That'd be bad. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Yeah, just like, thanks for the cash, everybody. The hot cash infusion, and now I can go back to doing what I do best. Sitting quietly, saying nothing on my computer screen. Oh, yeah. Oh, say Hirisurite? I actually don't know how to spell it, so you'd have to, like, look up the monster name on the DDO wiki, and then, yes, I mean, Brian is British, so he would know how to pronounce it. Probably me. So when it's time to get some blow? Yeah, exactly. Now, as you guys know, like for when it comes to the content, you don't have to subscribe, although it does give you ad-free viewing. And you don't have to give me any money or anything like that. Just enjoy the content, and if you don't subscribe, watch a couple ads, and that's good enough for me. You know, your support, the fact that people just enjoy the content is good enough. I'm not gonna say no to people throwing large piles of money at me. That's chill. You know, that's pretty good. But also just know that your viewership is enough for me. So I appreciate everyone that tunes in. Also, I don't think that's how it's spelled. Is it? I'm gonna look. I'm pretty sure. Isn't it Hirisurite?
Zoo talk all the time, so there's no fear of you going silent.
Honestly, probably true. Yeah, I do talk a lot. Have I posted this build yet? I actually haven't, because I decided that I'm gonna copy and paste the build that I wrote for hardcore, for this hardcore season. I actually wrote a Stormsinger for this season, and it's good enough. Like it's literally the same build that I'm doing, and I just realized I was reinventing the horse here. Also, there was a trap on that door that I just dodged, that I should have gotten killed by probably, so I wasn't paying attention. Better pronouncing words. Yeah, but that's because he's a robot. Robots are good at everything. It's like you don't feel bad when you get beaten by somebody who's like using an aimbot in like a video game, because they're not playing. It's the robot, and you can't be better than a robot. I mean, maybe you want to be better than a robot, but that's a little bit hard. Yeah, the robots are pretty good. I mean, I'd like to be better than the robots, but yeah, it's tough because the robots are pretty good at basically everything. All right, I'm almost out of mana, but that's all right. So I'm just gonna stand up here and then shoot this guy. Remember that your cone spells, if you angle them down, they go down. So like shout, if I just look down and press shout, even though the animation goes forward, it actually does follow the direction that you choose. And I have 200 mana left, so I can dump it into Dimension Door. Overlord Ryan to rule the world. Honestly, Ipsum was showing yesterday that
you, Strimtom AI/GPT,
whatever. Yeah, the GPT is able to create builds for you if you want. So you can literally type that in, and make some builds. They're not good, but they do work. Also, thank you everybody to the support of the hype train. Really appreciate that. I hope you're having a great day. I'm doing pretty good, and I'm gonna drink a cup of water.
This world.
Oh, that's crisp. Oh yeah. So again, very grateful, and you know, Your support is very generous and kind. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, the chat, the GPT makes some interesting builds and some interesting suggestions. Ipsum posted the picture where he said, "Is there forums PvP in DDO?" And the chatbot said, "DDO does have forums, but it's not clear what you mean by forums PvP. Forums can be a place for players to discuss PvP and share strategies, but they're not typically used for actual PvP combat. If you're interested in participating in PvP and DDO, you can do so through the various PvP options within the game." And then it proceeds to list a whole bunch of things that are not necessarily in DDO. But then Ipsum responded with, "Forums PvP is when users engage in bad faith arguments on forums to win social credit," which is accurate. To which it said, "I see. Thank you for clarifying that forums PvP refers to argumentative and combative behavior in online forums rather than actual PvP combat in a game. It's not a specific feature of the game, but rather a general phenomenon that can occur on online forums in general." Which it learns very fast. There could be a trap here, so whip on the shield, hug the right wall, and no trap. Also, there's almost always traps here in between these torches, so don't run in there as well. But yeah, the robot learns really fast. You didn't see the bot created build? Yeah, we looked it over yesterday. On stream. I just thought that was a fun tidbit. That it didn't know what forum PvP was, and then Ipsum explained it, and then it was like, oh, no, I totally understand. Gotcha. AI learns faster than the average forum user? Yeah, but AI learns faster than most people at most things. It is what it is. But we hold an advantage over artificial intelligence, which is that we are dumber than it. And doing dumb things creates entertainment and content. So, gotta say that. Could be traps here. Again, throw on the shield, jump through. The floor breaks here. How do you know where to stand for the floor breaking? This line. See this line on the floor? Safe.
The cries for help are closer.
Gonna watch it tomorrow? You got time. It's a shorter VOD, because I had to end the stream to go play D&D. Pen and paper. What's up, Infinitely? I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing? The door, then break the floor. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I just go for it. I just give her. As the kids say, "You're a bit down." Oh, why are you down? What's wrong? Unless you don't want to talk about it on stream. That's also okay. You can just be like, "I'm just feeling down and I'm feeling blue." You know what I do when I'm feeling blue? That's right. I eat myself unconscious. Like a lot of people do. It's very unhealthy. Also, this is a pit trap. Pit thing. You should use Featherfall to get across this. That's not what I did. If you jump with Featherfall, you make it to the end. It's a nostalgia thing. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Nostalgia is so difficult because I always have to like tell myself not to go back and play old video games because I want to. Oh, also there's a trap on that door, but if you just run through, you don't get hit by the trap, which is one of the reasons why, as I said, zerging and not being hesitant is very beneficial because you can prevent yourself from getting killed with things like that. Okay, so how do you get through this trap? What you do is hug the right wall, and you're going to make it through every time the first person. Everyone else after that has to wait. So you can let your trapper go first, or if you're by yourself, like this. Right? No problem. The second person is going straight up. So that's why if you have a trapper, let them run through first, and then they can disable the trap. So keep that in mind.
The voice grows louder, more intense.
Feels like a hit to your childhood. Yeah. So I don't really care that they're replacing Ash as the main character because, like, I think it's kind of natural for everyone to have the thing that they grew up with, like the next natural stage. Like, replacing the characters just seems like a good idea because they don't really have any more growth or anything interesting they can do with the character anymore. The guy's been around for like 100 years, you know? He's already caught a whole bunch of the Pokemon. He's already fought in many elite, like, Pokemon leagues. So just let the guy move on. He can retire, he can get older, he can be an old man in the new series now, which is kind of exciting. Like, just think about some of your favorite TV shows and how a lot of the better ones are the ones that stopped when they knew it was the right time to stop. You know, I think about how, do I really want to be sitting here, you know, still watching episodes of that 70s show? I watched some of the old ones, but their last season was really rough. Also, there's a possible spike trap here, which is why or blade trap, which is why I'm going to be back. And there it is. So sometimes you just got to move on and get a recast of characters and do more things. Yeah, we don't want Pokemon to be like The Office. Yeah, where like several of the actors leave, and then they're like, well, we got renewed for more seasons. We got to keep making more. So just but rebooting it with new characters means that you still have the concept, but you can write new entire storylines and do new different things if you want. You don't have to use the established characters. Instead of it being like, well, that character wouldn't do that. You're going to have something new and different. It's one of the reasons I've always enjoyed a lot more of the Pokemon spin-off shows that came out of it. Because you got to see different characters doing different things, which I thought was cool. But they'll have to come out with all new merchandise. I know, it's very sad. These big companies, oh no, Nintendo's going to have to make billions of dollars off of new toys. Oh no. It's actually so amazing that the Pokemon, the games, do not make nearly as much money as Pokemon, the toys. The merchandising is so much more lucrative than the actual game itself.
Continues to grow. The large room glows. The gate to the room open.
Because you can see how much money they made. Like, all the information's actually... It's on. I'm sure it's on their actual like statements because they're a publicly traded company. But also, it's really easy to read on Wikipedia.
Through the locked door
So, yeah.
to the south. Horrific echoes
The
of
fact that a constant in my life is disappearing. I mean, it's not disappearing, though. You're going to be able to watch the whole thing forever on whatever platforms you can find Pokemon TV show on, which I have no idea what those platforms are. It's great. Yeah. It's one of those things that, Pokemon came out when I was a kid, and so I grew up with it the entire time. It's one of the reasons why I still play the damn video games when they come out. But also, Pokemon is going to outlive me. It's more recognizable than Mickey Mouse. So, that's just one of those things you gotta think about every once in a while. You're like, yep, Pikachu is going to outlast all of us. Damn. Pokemon eats its salad? It does. Yeah, I had to take a break from the salad eating, but it's okay, I have liquid salad, I have soup. So we're gonna have some soup later today. Also, my soup comes with a side, not a side, because I have a half gallon of Cholula, and I put it in my soup yesterday. So good. So I'm going to be throwing some more of that in there. Again, so good. Ash mainly Pikachu. We'll see what happens now with this restart. There's going to be a Pikachu in the show, by the way. It doesn't matter what they're doing. There's going to be Pikachu somewhere. One of the characters is going to have a Pikachu. Pikachu's going to be somewhere. It's the face of the brand. It's cute and recognizable, and people's parents know who Pikachu is. Alright, so now I get to take level 16, which is exciting, because level 16 is going to give me an opportunity to get a lot more, do some more quests, and get some more health, and get a whole new list of spells. Specifically, I'll be able to get the 6th level spells, so I can have access to Greater Shout as a spell, Cure Moderate Mass, and most importantly, Thunderstroke. Thunderstroke is a spell that is an extremely high damage utility. I'll be very excited to use it once I get there, but I have to go take my level first. Played on a DOS simulator, and I participate in every win a Game Boy competition. Oh yeah, I remember when Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, and not having it, but I went over to a friend's house, and I think their dad or something had a copy of it on the computer, and I was like, oh my god, how did you do this? And so I remember just sitting next to them while they like sat there and played the Pokemon on the computer, and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. Alright, I get some spells. So, Thunderstroke, pretty good. Greater Shout, pretty good. Hero's Feast, pretty good, because it gives you immunity to all diseases, sickness, and nausea, and makes you immune to poison for 1 minute per caster level. If you Shrine, so pretty good. Another spell I do want to take. I'm not taking Greater Shout just because I'm not going to be casting it, really. It's very expensive for right now. I will probably be taking it at 17, though. All these spells are not helpful, so I'll take Greater Spell Magic, and I get another 1st level spell, which I'm going to take, I believe, Focusing Enchant, just attack rolls and skill checks. I don't think anything else adds to saving throws, which is the sketchy part. I'm going to take Featherfall, actually, so I can cast Featherfalling when I need it. Okay, so now here comes the tougher decision. I need to make it through the Crucible, because I'm doing the Crucible solo. So I need a solution to this problem. So the solution is hit points Yeah, is the solution is hit points. Because I need to be able to face tank several different traps in here, which is going to be quite dangerous. I don't have to do the Crucible, but I feel like I should do it on my squishy spellcaster. So we need to tank up just a little bit. So I'm going to be hitting the... I think I'm going to go into War Chanter to grab a little bit more hit points, plus the 1 Constitution here, so I can get it from Scaldic Rage. Actually, does this give Constitution? It gives +4 bonus to Strength. No, it does not. Okay. Rough and Ready is 6 armor class, which is helpful for swimming through that stuff. We'll see. See how I want to do this. The other hard part is you get temporary hit points. So I'm going to go 16, and I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go Hardy, and see what kind of Constitution I can pick up. Hardy 7 male armor. Oh, cool. What does my armor do? Electric Absorbed and Healing. I mean, that's pretty good. Hardy 5 of False Life 15, also not bad. Hardy 6 of False Life 19, also not bad. I think Hardy 7 Chainmail is pretty good. So I think I'm going to grab that. But the Sonic Resistance doesn't help, but it's just got more armor class, and it's got Con 7. And turns out Con 7, pretty good. So I'm going to buy that. And then I want to buy a shield. I want to replace my shield with Vitality and Physical Resistance. So Vitality. And I want to go to the shields specifically, see if anybody has anything like that. And I only have light shields, which is not helpful. RIP. But the armor will help me quite a bit. Electricity absorption, very cool, but still, it's not bad to have. And now, because of the difference in health, I have a 7 Constitution. The 1 Con won't help me here, but now I can get my item of +7, which will then give me an odd number, so I will have a high enough Constitution. The Sonic Resistance, again, does notwithstanding. But now, boom, I bump up to 402 with this, which is a lot higher than it was before, which is, again, quite good. So something that I kind of need. I don't think there's any other ways I can improve my character's hit points right now, because there's no other Vitality items I can pick up. False Life would be cool, but I can't get Death Block and False Life on the same item. So I don't think there's any way for me to get False Life on anything here. Like if I just go to the auction house, not shields, like clothing. False Life, it is unfortunately, you can get Constitution of Death Block, but, oh, False Life is a suffix? Oh, you can get Death Block of False Life. I wonder if I can get that. You can get Death Block of False Life. I can't afford that one. But damn, look at that. It is actually an option in the game. I didn't realize that, which means I could replace this, but that's actually a lower number, so it's fine. Still, it's interesting to note. Anyway, I'm going to sell some stuff, and then go re-up my house B-buffs, and then get ready to go on my future adventure here. And get rid of a bunch of this nonsense that I don't need. Holy Dagger, Fusible Thing, my Mirage that I didn't do anything with that I could have. Bracers of Intimidate, I don't need these rings. False Life 23 is not that bad just for the swim, so I might just hold on to that and throw that on when I do the swim. But everything else should be pretty good here. Because I'll be able to add swim. The hardest part for me is my reflex save is currently 22, which is about 20 lower than it needs to be to not fail the save against the traps. So my saving throws are a little bit lower than I would like, but it is what it is. Now basically all consoles you wanted when you're a kid. That's nice. Oh, yeah. The thing is, especially, you can emulate pretty much any console that you want, a lot of the older ones. There are some consoles that are a lot more difficult to emulate, and especially a lot of my favorite games that I can't emulate in any capacity. For example, a game that I cherish and is an amazing product was a video game called Mag for the PlayStation 3. So Mag was a fantastic game, and I miss playing some Mag with my friends. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna grab the extra 6 physical resistance rating because I think it will help a lot. A shield doubles your physical resistance rating versus traps. So that's why I'm using it. But yeah, I used to play Mag all the time, and it was a good experience. Unfortunately, Mag is a always online game, or at least it was before they shut the servers down. So when they shut them down, you can't play Mag anymore. There's no offline version of the game. It was only online. It was one of the first games to do that because it was a PlayStation 3 launch title, and the idea behind it was, for those that don't know, MAG stands for Massive Action Game. I know the eggheads over at Sony had to really think of that one, and the idea was that it was just a very, very large game. And so it was called MAG because it was just a absolutely gigantic, huge game that featured up to 256 players in one map. And it also wasn't like 256 players, but they're not together. The moments where you have actual, like, all 256 people in one area, which was in the game mode domination, it is it's madness, straight up madness. It's impossible to understand what's going on. Everything's exploding. It was so good. Isn't there a private mag server? If there is, you feel free to link that to me. You know, I won't tell anybody. Inside Evocation Focus 2, let's go! That's an improvement on my DCs by 1, and I will take it. This is one of the reasons why I'm picking up all of the quest rewards from these guys. Just looking for something minor. There could be something in here. Thaumaturgic Orb that has none of the stats that I want at all. A Scepter that has none of the stats that I want. And a set of boots that has none of the stats. Reflex 5. If there was, like, parrying or saves versus traps as a stat on here, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, that is not an option. Devoted, Abjuration, Physical Resistance, Discipline, Conjuration. False Life 23 with Perform 15 is actually interesting because I lose the Sonic Crit, but it gives me 15 spell power and it gives me some more health. Well, think about it. Alright. So now we're going to go to Cabal for 1. Should be a grand old time. Also, I got to put my new spells that I got on my action bar. Should be a grand old time. I got Hero's Feast. I got Thunderstroke. Which is like a big instant kill. I just kill whoever I touch. And then Feather Falling is a big one. I just want to be able to cast Feather Falling on command. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but it's nice to have physical NES, SNES. So I don't really care too much about NES, but Super Nintendo, the hardest part for me was that they made the Super Nintendo Classic, but they only sold like 10 of them, which is a problem. And also, the Super Nintendo Classic, as cool as it is, didn't have one of my favorite Super Nintendo games on it, so it's just, it's just kind of unfortunate. Here's Feast. Also, what's up, Mr. Dorek? I saw that shield you just linked me. It's a very, very cool shield. Minion damage?
Fractured remnant of the Dakani Empire.
Yeah. I actually bought one, Super Nintendo Classic from my mom. I got it at a thrift shop. Alright, I can't deal with the trap, so obviously I'm going to have him disable all of them. By level 79.
Guard access.
It's 78, but yeah. The problem with that is you have to roll it, and rolling it is very expensive, so we'll see. Maybe if I'm like giga rich and I have a lot of stuff, we'll see, but it's going to take some time to get there. Also, Chain Lightning is a good spell. You should use it. Do you see the power of Chain Lightning? I'm also going to be aggressively using my spell points in here, because there's a shrine pretty soon to where you like actually come into this quest. Also, this guy sucks. All the Lore Masters cast Dispel Magic. Dispel Magic means I have to recast all my buffs, which is more expensive than pretty much anything else I can do, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to be aggressively killing them first, because if I don't use my mana to kill them, I have to use my mana to rebuff, and also they can take away my House P buffs, which I don't want to deal with. Haven't transit because I didn't know if you wanted to alk it. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I would be down to alk it, although I might not alk it. I might wait until I get a fossil for minion stuff. So I think I might wait till I get a minion fossil and then fossil it. Because I only need one. Increased odds to find minion stats. Since we didn't have SNES either, I'd take them together. Oh, absolutely. Die, Lore Master. Don't you dare dispel my magic. Oh my god, stop. Stop being alive. That's terrifying. Bite growth is greater than Chain Lightning. That is a very cold take. Oh, Freddy's up there. Like, what am I looking for? Is that a Lore Master? No, it's not. I hate when monsters will, like, run next to you and then the game says, you're not facing the right way. You're not facing the right way, game. How about you face the right way?
It is time to find the giant's
That's
relic.
what we had DOS games? Oh, yeah. There were some good DOS games, man. I mean, depending on the average age of the people in the room that you talk to, some people say that they were the best games, that all the games have gone downhill since then.
A cry issues from beyond.
Why you hate trapping? Yeah. It's unfortunate that you can't just, like you can't turn away, which sucks. I need displacement for this room, so I'm gonna get it. Oh my god! He tripped me through the displacement. Oh, the wolf. It was just like, nope, I don't care. See ya. Thanks, jerk.
No reason to
Spellsinger or Stormsinger? I am a Stormsinger. That is why I'm constantly casting Chain Lightning. This is pretty good. Okay. Alright, Crucible. Let's go. The wolf will not be denied? No, it won't. There's a lot of waiting in this quest, so we'll see. Game wants you to play melee? Game does not want you to play melee. You're reading into that. What you want?
Here when I first
You want to play melee. Oh, Lore Master? Nope. You're not spelling my magic here.
Fortified this area and put it to good use.
But we are doing a Stormsinger. I have temporarily put some points into Rough and Ready for some extra physical resistance rating, because that gives me a total of 26. With Shield, I go up to 46, which doubles up to 92. And 92 physical resistance rating should mean I take a reasonably reduced amount of damage from monsters. Now, one of the reasons why my physical resistance rating is so good is because I have a feat. I have the combat style feat. Nope, that's not the right button. Improved shield mastery, and I took this specifically because it gives extra hit points for leveling, and when I use a shield, I get extra defense.
My reflection in its side.
He made Garrison Pack because he tried to solo that one wolf pack. Yep.
Greeted by growls, insults, and mocking laughter from the
Alright.
veterans of the Storm's
So, I'm
Fist
going to talk to
War.
this guy because I'm a bard, so I have high diplomacy, and I have all the skills. I mean, look at those skills, man. You talk to the Knoll, which is diplomacy. I think it's not that high. It's only like 30 or 5 or something that you need to roll. So most people can do it with just like greater heroism and a couple other stats. But then you have to just give it to him, which has no roll on it. You just give him the map. Apparently 8 is not high enough. No. Oh, geez. I need a high roll. It's okay. There we go. 17. It's good enough. So apparently 50. And then you can talk to him for the bluff. And the bluff is also not that high. But there we go. So now we got all of them. So now he's going to fight naked. He's going to fight without the this thing. Which is nice.
The
There's a lot of
commander
convenience there.
the Storm's Fist sneers.
Normally I would break all the breakables in here. I'm not doing that because a lot of them explode and my health is not that high. Why not use a shield all the time? Arcane Spell Failure? Exactly, yeah. This character is going to be getting rid of Arcane Spell Failure in the future. And using Tower Shields once I get to level 23. But I'm not level 23, so I'm not doing that. But Tower Shields be towering. So, we'll see. And I'm going to get my Rage up, because it gives me some extra hit points. 418, it's not bad, so it should be okay for the most part in here. God, I love Chain Lightning, dude. You plan out a build on the build editor before starting it? Usually, not this time. I'm kind of doing it as I go, but I am mentally planning it out. So in these, there's one of two ways. Either you can use an augment that gets rid of Arcane Spell Failure, which is the main way and how I would like to do it. You can also use Filigree that gets rid of Arcane Spell Failure, which is another way that would work really well. Or you can use Fatesinger. And I think the augment route is the way to go. Augment will mean I use heavy shields, whereas the any other route means I use tower shields. So again, it's going to be a wait and see. Ooh. Oh no, everybody died in one hit. Okay, so I got to make sure I have this thing targeted. And I got to make sure I don't screw up any spells. So please use the valve. And then Larafay is going to run to me for reasons I don't entirely understand. Grab the crest and back up, and we're all set. So what I did there is I basically had I still had it targeted. I told Larafay to use it. Then I hit backspace, which for me is select item, which would be Q as the default, to select the item on the ground. Then I pressed U, so I took my hand off the mouse and did backspace U. For the default, it's QE to pick up the crest, and then I just backwalked through the door so I could get through before it actually slid across. Then you can use one of these crests right here. So usually what you have to do is go over, if this is like the whole maze, there's like this H lever you have to go through and pull all this other nonsense, or you can just use this through the wall. It saves you a lot of time, and it makes this quest so much easier to do. But yeah, my plan for Arcane Spell Failure is to find a shield that I like, and then put an augment into it so I can ignore this Arcane Spell Failure. Or use Fatesinger. I'd like to not use Fatesinger, but again, we'll see. And I would like to, starting at level 20, use a shield like full time, but again, we'll see. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing. You have to get a crest that's behind this door. If you run into the corner, you can just squeak through like this. So you're done. So just squeak through here and kill all these bad guys. And then I'm going to tell my hireling, grab the crest of the snake, and then again do the same thing and squeak through. Now I didn't have to go the entire left side. This area over here that you can see, you don't have to do it at all, and you're all set. Like Giant Splatter? Yeah. Bards are too strong. They're pretty good. 2 questions. 1, the wiki says clerics and paladins can also use their standard feat slot for deity-based feats. Does that mean that clerics and paladins can pick up the deity feats if they spend a feat for them? I thought it was favorite soul. Yes, they can. It also means you can pick up another deity feat if you want it. Alright, so out of fear, I kind of don't want to pick this up because this is a trapped area with magic damage traps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something evil. I'm going to tell Lara Faye to do it. Is she not going to do it? Oh, she won't pick it up. Alright, cool. Looks like I have to do it regardless. So, throw on the shield, which is going to increase my magic resistance rating dramatically to 18 from 8. Kill these guys that are running at me. Cast Greater Heroism for the extra little bit of temporary hit points. And then I would run and jump while pressing the use button over top of it. So it's jump, then press use. So run, jump, use, grabbed it, and I did not take any damage from the trap. Important note, if you want to practice that and try to do that yourself when you're playing through this quest solo, please practice that on the regular servers. Do not practice that on Hardcore League, because you're going to die. Because I've failed that many times myself on the regular servers, either by falling in the pit or grabbing it too early or other stuff. Please practice on the regular servers. Thank you. All right, so that was the first scary part in this quest. I am much more worried about this than I was my fighter, because the fighter was like super tanky and really taking any damage from anything, whereas this character is not like that, so that's always fun. Yeah, they died. This is the second scary part here. This area I have to be very mindful of because there's a lot of traps. The traps do a lot of damage, so I have to be very fast on the heal. Unfortunately, I have Arcane Spell Failure while I have my shield up, but I have no Arcane Spell Failure on spell-like abilities, so my Cure Wounds should be able to heal me just fine. So run through this. I'm going to likely eat 2 hits here. Oh, only 1. Run through the trap. I don't want to fall down by accident, although I did take 200 damage, so that's really cool. And then same thing. I can eat 4 hits. So run and jump. Go. Take nothing. Hug the left wall because there's blade traps on the right, and we're all set. Another thing what I should have done is used Stone Skin, which takes 10 damage off of each hit from the traps. That's what I should have done ahead of time, but I did not think to do that.
There's something familiar.
And then lastly, talk to this guy, and we're all set. So get the diplomacy done on him. So now the floor is broken, unlike when my fighter, where I had to trial and error the same thing.
The floor of this hallway has collapsed. Broken bodies of several orcs lie below.
And you're dead. That is Heresiarch. Heresiarch? Heresiarch. We'll figure it out later. Okay, so this one, what I did last time is I kind of just like ran myself into this. I still have to do that, but I'm going to use the hireling because I have a relatively low reflex save and take a lot more damage than hirelings do. You'll notice that she took basically nothing, so I'm just going to keep throwing her into the trap, and she'll eventually get it. She also could have died. That's why I bought Raise Scrolls.
The test of instinct has reset.
Yeah, I don't have the wisdom to actually do this properly, so... Oh my god, she just takes so much damage. I'm gonna do this just in case. Anyway, all right, Larafay, go get him. Go get him. The door is not blocked. You can do it. She just doesn't want to go because she knows what's going to happen. Which, to be fair, like, I also wouldn't want to go if I was being commanded to do this.
Instinct has reset.
Go pull the door, dude. No, come on. You can do it. You understand. Let's go. Sometimes the hirelings take a second to figure out exactly what they're supposed to be doing. You didn't give her songs to regen life? I definitely did. That's why her spell points are coming back, and her health comes back passively. Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand. I know you understand. Come on.
You approach a prominent
Use the door.
on a lectern surrounded by 6 numbered.
She really doesn't want to use this door. Again, something I get. I know why she doesn't want to use it, but come on. You gotta go.
The test of
We're on an adventure. We are adventurers. Let's go. Yep, and she went down. Rip. Alright, that's why we have raise scrolls.
The test of instinct has reset.
Give her some extra saving throws. So she'll be even tankier. And go get him, Tiger. It's not out of range. You can do it. Okay. Heal her up again. And go get him, Tiger.
Reset.
It's a 1 in 6 every time I do this. And I can't do the Tome of Instinct. So I just have to rip this until I eventually get it.
Test of instinct
Yo, what's up, Mist? How you doing?
reset.
How are ya? Got it. We're all set. All right. So now from back here, I'm just going to snipe everything down. The Elementalists are very dangerous because they cast dangerous spells. The Soul Howlers are very dangerous because they cast dangerous spells. And so I want to avoid all of that, so I'm just going to hit them at range. I have the mana to support doing that, so I'm going to. There's a Soul Howler over here. I'm going to snipe it down and miss. I'm going to take a spell that angles itself, and then... Amazing. Yeah, freedom of movement is very helpful. I have freedom of movement, but I still just don't like getting hit by Comet Fall. Comet Fall is the dangerous part of this. If I get Comet Fall, I will be in a lot of danger. The Soul Howlers are the ones who do Comet Fall. So the runners don't really do a whole lot. They do hamstring you, and if they hamstring you in the air, you can fall down. So I should probably use Feather Fall, so I have a bit more wiggle room in that regard. Larafay is also helpful here because she blows everybody up. But yeah. There's a couple levels on Caster Druid are slowly painful. Dude, they're so painful. Caster Druid's not too bad after the first couple of levels. And like once you get around level 7, it starts to pick up a lot. Before level 7, yeah, it's rough. Second question. Is there any dex check saves later in the game? I think so. 1 sec.
7 signal crystals above
R1, G3, and B5. You basically count from the left to right. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's how many turns you have to make. I write it in the chat so I can easily remember. So it's red is 1 turn, green is 3 turns, and blue is 5 turns. Just as long as you remember that the first digit is 0, you should be good. Trying to make a note as to whether they are borked in the same way strength saves. I don't know how many decks. I think it's trip, maybe? The only thing I can think of. That's about it. There are instructions to follow only. You mean passive? I did. Is it called follow only?
As the puzzle
Anyway, the door's open.
into place, a loud gear
And ChatGPT
glides
character
from
builder.
the
It's unfortunate
side of
ChatGPT is going to
the
take views away from your hardcore videos. I know. It's horrible. I'm being replaced by a robot. Unironically, if people keep feeding the robot data, eventually it will be able to spit out competent character builds for Hardcore League. That's kind of cool. Okay, so now we have the swim, which is a scary portion of the run through here. I'm going to rage myself. I'm going to stone skin myself. I am going to cast swim. I'm going to equip my shield. Greater heroism as well. So I have temporary hit points, and I'm going to go. Here we go. Again, it's a lot about practice. Practice the swim on the regular server first. Left through the hole, right through the middle here. Left, then go right, then go left, then hard right. Then a little left, then you gotta go in between, then you hard left, then you gotta go up, then down, and then hard up right away. And we're through the first section. Next section, if you need to heal, you can do so here. You want to swim downwards towards the bottom, and then straight up once you get through the middle section here. And now we're going to swim through this, which conveniently stopped right for me, which is very cool. Swim. I'm not done yet, though. There is a way I can get through here safely 100% of the time, which is casting Dimension Door after I get this, and then just walking through the maze again, which is really not that hard. However, it takes a little bit more time than the alternative, which is what I'm about to go do, which is swimming right through this death trap. Here we go. I'm going to wait till the trap stops blowing. Okay, now I'm going to go through. Again, wait till the trap starts blowing so I don't get caught in the turbulence, and then we're going to go through here. Middle, then go up, then go through the middle, and I'm done. This last trap can hit me, but it doesn't matter that much. Important note, because... Oh, it didn't hit me. Cool. Important note that because I am playing as a Spellsinger Bard, or Stormsinger, I have the passive healing. If you take a hit while you're swimming through that, you can just duck into a corner and let the passive healing heal you back up to full. Just duck. Just duck into a corner and wait. Duck into a corner and wait. And your health will passively go back up even though you're underwater. But, yeah, I don't have to do that because I'm a god. The swim god. You can also drink potions underwater, that is correct, yeah.
Bangs an alarm as you approach.
Hey, Merfolk's blessing is gone. Oh, Dees Battlelord sucks. More like Dees nuts. I made that joke already. Many times, actually. It's not even funny. It's not even really a joke. It's just like a statement. And here I am, making that joke again. Hirelings can't heal you underwater. That's actually, I forgot to mention that. I didn't set my Hireling to not follow me, because by having her just follow me, she could heal me passively when we went around. Alright, and I'm going to rebuff myself, because my buffs are going to fall off. Rebuff my Hireling. And then I'm going to realize that it just occurred to me, I really have to go to the bathroom. Even evolutionists, we are the monkeys. Yeah, but there still are monkeys you can use for that process too. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you hear Horn of Thunder, and you go like, the hounds are coming from Hardcore 6. It's good times. It's literally just like what's going on? 2 album missions back to back. Nice. Rapid Crucible, what reflex save would you suggest for the swim? Also, would 1800 GP be good even if you're shit at the swim? Yeah, 1800. If you have 1800 hit points and like 100 to 150 PRR, you're gonna be fine. And if you have a shield, oh baby. Tower shield saves all. If you have 100 PRR and a tower shield, or not a tower shield, a heavy or a tower shield, you're not gonna die to the swim. This character is going to very easily do the swim when I get there. Also, I should probably get a better sheltering item because I have sheltering 8, but whatever, it's fine. Everybody dies. And then we're done. That's it. That's how you do Crucible by yourself, solo, on Hardcore League on a Bard. Just do exactly what I did, and then you're done. Easy game. Magnetism or Resonation? I think the magnetism is pretty good. Stick with that. Did I just get a new wand of stone skin? Alright. Alright, so I'm going to double recall to Gianthold. Actually, I can just DDO out of this one. But I want to go back to Gianthold for 2 reasons. 1, I want to spend my newly acquired enhancement points. And 2, I really have to go to the bathroom.
This dragon looks.
Go on, going to.
How base is my reflection
My
in its
instinct,
sight.
or my charisma is 35?
Would that I could bathe myself in fire here.
Wait, so I actually can get 1 more point of charisma?
I feel
This?
will wash away.
Anyway, I'll be right back. Do the washroom, and then we'll
Along
keep
with
going.
my flesh.
The crater. So it is ending soon. That's why I gotta polish this stream off for this character. That's the goal here. That's the goal.
This hate and anger. It still burns within
I just
all
need
my
to,
kind.
you know,
The best
not die over the
solution,
next couple of days.
the
Which
only
is way
solution
trickier than you think.
is the one I see before me. Death to us all.
You going for 30? Oh, yeah. I'm going to be hitting, like I said, 22, 23 today, probably. Or higher. Because I'm pretty sure I have a lot of sagas to collect. I don't remember how many sagas I did or didn't collect because My mind is a vacuum and I can't remember almost anything. So, yeah. But yeah, this character, I'm going for 32. It's going to be a lot easier than on the fighter because I'm just going to blow through everything really fast. The only thing I have to be careful about is if I straight up eat it. Like if I die. That's the only thing that I'm worried about at all, is just me dying. Which is why I took a little bit of extra physical resistance rating here. And I may consider putting in 1 more point just for the 10 health, because 10 health is not nothing. It is 10 hit points, and that actually turns into something later. As I said, I'm sticking with Spellsinger for now, although I will be swapping this out to 31 Spellsinger, 41 Stormsinger when I get the chance. But again, that's a later problem. For now, I'm just sticking with this. But I definitely want the cast level and max cast level with Electric and Sonic, and the cast level and max cast level with Electric and Sonic. Well, good.
From the giant
Mentioned Trip
soul.
was like the only dex save in the game.
What
Cast by mobs. Well, it's a strength or dex check,
does it keep?
right? So it uses whichever's
What
higher. It uses your strength or your dex.
In its depths.
So it's not just that. Right, and buff you, and then do this, and talk to Nimbus. I forgot that there's so many buffs I have to cast. Three quests.
Beyond it lies a magical barrier, blocks entry into the chamber, marked with the symbol of Pale War, etched into the wall ahead, is the symbol for the plane of
Is
Below it
Trip,
is a
when
switch,
cast by mobs,
and
bug
the
deswise in the same way
receptor
that other
shaped
strength
to take
saves
the
are?
chamber
There's no
has
way you
been
make your
ruined
save.
beyond
Well, it's
repair.
an opposed strength check.
Once glowing
So yeah,
symbol
usually there's no way you're gonna make it.
sits lifeless at its center.
Up, 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 down. So that one, it's just, that's the, you need to remember what that said. So for me, I just type in a code, and that's what most people do. So I just typed in UUUD, and that means it's up, 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 down. So I remember that that's what I have to do to get through the door up at the top here.
Another barrier blocks access.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you
to
mean.
the
I don't know what you're
chamber.
asking of me. So but my answer to that question is strength, or like Trip is an opposed strength or dex check. So it's basically impossible for your character to resist it. That's why knockdown immunity and trip immunity is quite good. Stuff like 4 legs good out of Druid as an example of something that is very helpful in that case.
Another magical barrier.
Following the Wizards of the Coast open gaming license drama. Yeah, how Wizards was like, hey man, we want to have ownership of all of the content made under the license retroactively. And people were like, that's not cool. And then they were like, we also want to gain a bigger profit share. And we're going to take 25% of profit share for any businesses making over $750,000 using the open gaming license that was previously free. At which point a lot of people said, yeah, that's also not really cool. But also understandable that they want to make a profit. And to me, I think that's the most understandable part of it, where it's like, I think they went a little high with, collecting 25% of people's revenue over $750,000 is a little of a high ball, given that they were collecting 0. So that was a bit of an overreach, but it was like mostly the ownership that I think a lot of people were upset about, especially considering the license was different the way it was. Important note, it also didn't affect everybody. Like a lot of people were like, oh, what's going to happen to DDO with like the OGL thing? Dungeons & Dragons Online doesn't use the OGL. They pay for a license. This game is licensed. It uses Wizards IP and everything else. They have to pay for the license to use it. So it's totally separate. It doesn't, like, that decision doesn't affect that. Did I level up any of these? Perform, Bluff is 25, Diplo 33. Diplo it is. I failed. Roll the 2. Rip. So yeah, so DDO does not use the OGL. It uses, like, they just actually have a license. They paid for the license and then they use it. So the big thing for me is that, one, this is like a major PR nightmare and blunder. It's just a bad idea in general. They're trying to bite the hand that feeds them. Independent content creators and people making content around Dungeons & Dragons is extremely profitable to Dungeons & Dragons. The best way to describe it is this is like, because I'm streaming here, that SSG says, okay, but by the way, we own all of your content and can claim that your videos are made by us, and we are also we're going to take a cut of all the everything that you're making now on the website, or like on Twitch and whatever, even though we didn't talk about that before. They technically have the right to do that. it's because gaming's a little bit different, where they didn't actually have like an open license. Gaming or like streaming video games is more of just like an understanding between developers and the content creators that it's good free publicity. So there's like really no downside to the relationship. Whereas Wizards was just like, hey man, we are getting free publicity, but what if it was more free? What if it was profitably free? So I think it was just a case of they were having a good thing and they decided to just like shake the birdcage, and it wasn't the best move. It was not the best idea that some of these eggheads have had. Do I need Death Ward for any of this? I don't think so. But we'll sort that out later.
All at once dust rises from the floor, and the hanging corpses of long dead soldiers take shape as the last of the dead are laid to rest. The room
so that's me. That's my understanding.
The orbs at the back of the room are
blame Hasbro? I don't know. It's partially Hasbro and a lot of Wizards. Like, you can blame Hasbro all you want, but Wizards is the company that is owned by Hasbro. That didn't happen for nothing. I don't blame like the people that are working at Wizards day in day out. They punch clock in at 9, punch out at 5 sort of people. I don't blame those people. It's the executive's decision. They wanted to make a lot of money, so they sold the company. And then now they have to bend the knee, and they're also willing to bend the knee because they want to appease the people that pay the paycheck. But yeah. And then my favorite part about all of this is that they decided to walk everything back and say that all the new content is going to be included in the OGL, which they also didn't have to do. It was a perfect opportunity to say they were rewriting stuff for the future for 1D&D, and they wanted to have a new business model, which was, again, something that they totally could have done, and I don't think most people would have been even upset about. I'm like, oh, they're making a new business model. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Like, that, it's a new product. Of course they're going to be selling something new. Okay, I have to make sure I don't get knocked into the lightning, because the lightning wall is very dangerous. I'll be putting my character basically back up against the wall over here, because I do not want to deal with that. We need a lawful quiz in the room. It's super easy to take long. You have to be lawfully aligned. I'm not lawful. I am not chaotic. Bards can't be lawful. Ring, please. Damn. Wanted the ring of the djinn. But yeah, so they walked it back, and they said, yeah, by the way, we're going to do all this stuff. But then they basically just took the massive L, because a bunch of people have jumped ship. I don't think it's like a insane quantity, but there is at least now a big buzz, and a lot of people are familiar with words like Pathfinder and other game systems that they were possibly not familiar with, and they basically just gave a bunch of free advertising to their competitors. So if you're somebody who is competing with Dungeons and Dragons as a product, this is a great day, or that was a great time to have your business running, because like what a blunder. Like, it's important to note that there are some people that compete with Wizards in terms of the tabletop space, like Dungeons and Dragons. There are people that compete in that space, but they're not like big competitors, right? Dungeons and Dragons is not competing with too many other people in the same space, because when people talk about playing Pathfinder, they still describe it to people as playing D&D, right? Like, it's like, it's like Kleenex. Kleenex competes with some other tissue manufacturers, sure, but like, people still call it Kleenex when they reach for their tissue, right? So, you can tell who's the dominant player in the space. So it's the same thing where, like, yeah, so there were other tabletop designers and other people that are doing stuff. The Paizo guys with Pathfinder are making products and stuff, but they're not nearly the same order of magnitude of popularity as Dungeons & Dragons. So pretty much the game that I see it is that it's entirely in Wizards of the Coast's like hands. They can lose, right? Pathfinder is not going to win and suddenly take over Wizards, but Wizards can lose. They can throw the game. You know what I mean? They can throw the game. So, and that's basically what they're doing, is they're just throwing the game. You ever play League of Legends and you wonder why all of a sudden You know, the guy who's playing Cassidon mid with 20 kills suddenly just gets randomly caught, and then you start losing. That's Wizards. That's what they're doing. They're just throwing the game for no reason. They should just go, man, we love our content creators. It's amazing. Content Creator Week. We're gonna show off all these content creators and stuff, and be excited and just showcase all the work that they're doing, and then just cash the check on the side because they're selling all these products. Again, it's another thing when it comes to like the OGL. People were talking about when things like Critical Role. Critical Role is a licensed product. It's licensed by Wizards. I skipped Madstone Crator, so I have to go do that now. I think I skipped it subconsciously because I didn't want to do it. Yeah, the Critical Role people have put their foot down behind the scenes, and Hasbro caved. Well, yeah, but they have a licensed product. Like Critical Role is part of D&D, so you know, like D&D already gets a cut of that anyway. So I keep your aspirin in the Frigidaire. There you go.
Oh, this hate and
So yeah,
anger.
again, it's just one of those things where I find like the whole situation is just a major blunder on Wizards' part, and I don't know. I think what they were hoping was that nobody would find out, and this is something that they would just start passing off to end users as their new agreement, and then people wouldn't talk about it. But then, of course, somebody obviously who saw the document leaked the thing, which caused this whole storm. And if nobody had leaked it, just imagine what would have happened. Yeah, exactly. They have a 4 Reels license, so that's why people are like, oh, what's Critical Role going to say about it? It's like, well, they don't. It's the same thing. Like DDO doesn't use the OGL. That's not how that works. When you go and buy the you know, if you want to buy some of the Critical Role stuff, it's in a book stamped with the D&D seal of approval on it, because they're marketing it together.
This is a place to avoid.
Because one of the benefits of being an officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons product is you get to use all of the officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons services. No thanks. You get to use all the officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons things, like publishing. Bro, you don't gotta publish that book. You just write the damn thing in the whatever format, give it to Dungeons & Dragons, and then they're gonna print the thing and get it shipped out to stores and deal with all the logistics, and you just cash a check. There's a lot of benefits to having a proper licensing agreement with some of these larger companies. I somehow missed Expeditious Retreat, and because that guy went invisible, it means that this door is going to be very frustrating to deal with, so I'm going to be skipping this. I'm going to just publish it in a book, then no one will read it. Also true. Yeah, just put it in a book somewhere. But yeah, as I said, it's just, to me, it just seems like a major blunder, and I am not entirely sure
Intense heat wells up from
what the purpose is, or like what they were thinking was going to happen. Like they're just all sitting in the boardroom, and what they thought was going to happen when people started hearing about that. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think about that. Maybe they're just so out of touch with reality that it just never crossed their minds that some people would be upset. Which is also a possibility. Like, I've said dumb shit. No, don't dodge me, jerk. These guardians are some magic. Is this maximized? Yeah, it is. I forgot that maximized costs like 6 mana or something silly, like a really small amount, so it basically costs nothing. Very nice. Because of this. These cost 1 for some reason. They're probably not supposed to, but it's really nice that they do. Important note, if you're like, man, what if in the future they patch it and then it doesn't cost 1 anymore, it costs 2, so you actually spend a lot more spell points in your quests? Well, what you do is you do the opposite of what I'm doing, which is just use the shrines when you play the game. Just use the shrines. That's the solution. When you go through the quest, just use the shrines instead of not using the shrines. So you said the restrictive OGL update was still one of the most free and open licensing things in the world. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things where the The majority of people also don't even understand most of the terms in the OGL. I don't understand most of the terms. I'm not a lawyer.
The seer turns to you.
I don't speak legalese. I also need somebody to tell me what's going on. Is there a way for a bard to get remove immunity to lightning and sonic damage? No. But also, very few monsters are immune to lightning in general, and almost nothing is immune to sonic. Is there even a single monster that's immune to sonic? Not resistant, but straight up immune? I'm sure there is, I just can't think of it. Other than the monsters that are immune to everything.
The seer calls out, keep them at bay.
Leveling 83. Alright. Leveling 3, leveling NT8 is rough. You'll get there. Don't worry about it. Just keep killing more monsters and just go faster. Are Wisps immune? No. What's up, screen? How are ya? How are you doing today? Lightning Wizard Sorcerer are the only things going to remove lightning immunity, and Alchemist, because Alchemists get the ability to remove lightning immunity by casting any spells in their tier 5. They just pick an element that can remove immunity from everything. You guys remember when I did this on the fighter and I actually had to like bounce these creatures around and like mildly just kind of tank their blows so they wouldn't do anything? Oh, and Druid. Oh, wait, and Druid? No, Druid can't remove lightning immunity. Druid can remove cold, not lightning.
Almost done.
Druid cannot do that. They can remove lightning, but, or sorry, cold, not lightning.
Much longer.
Any word on if they might do something with the new Acolyte of the Skin beam shape? The D3 Wizard Archon beam would be amazing, like you were saying. This would be a big missed opportunity if it releases as is. I don't have any word. I haven't checked the thread. I probably should.
Heavily. I feel the magic source. It is near, I am sure. The dust and debris underfoot suggests this passage has gone undisturbed for a very long time.
Back up. I should probably cast, like, Displacement. Do I need to Shrine before the next area? Because I will have to do slightly more fighting than this, where I'm not currently doing any fighting. Or winter form, not elements. I mean, I don't really care too much about the elements. I mean, I see where you're coming from with the summer winter form thing. But I don't really have too much strong opinion, to be honest. Where it's like, oh, they should be able to bypass all elements of the individual season. I feel like that's too much. Important note, I don't like immunity bypass in its current implementation, which is not to say that I think immunity bypass is bad, but I think that the way it's implemented is bad. So, as an example, I think that immunity bypass in the form of passively you bypass all immunity all the time, it's just boring, it's lazy, it's not a lot. Like, you don't even have to think about it. Like, your brain doesn't even, your neurons don't have to fire. You just cast your spells and you're bypassing it. So, I don't really like that. What I would prefer is one of two options. Option A, how they have it done in Artificer, which is you tie it to a condition. You must hit with the rune arm to bypass the immunity. I think that is much better system. It's a much better solution, because it's interesting. You as a player have to decide for yourself, okay, how am I going to manage this? The answer is, well, you have to cast You know, you have to use a certain effect or a certain ability to be able to get it to work. So I think that's great. I think that is a great way to handle it, because it means that as players, you have to like make decisions about how exactly you want to handle the problem of the immunity and how you want to go about it. You have to change up your play strategy so you can still deal with it, but it's not just like a free win. So I like that. Or they could do the Diablo 2 route where you get an enhancement that says attacks against monsters or immune monsters only apply at like 5% of their value or something. So you can bypass immunity of a monster, but you only deal like 5 or 10% of the damage. So then that way you are still able to deal damage to a immune monster, but it's significantly lowered, so you are still incentivized to do something else, but if you want to brute force it, you physically could, which is what they did in Diablo 2. Both of those solutions I think are good for me, but the general concept of immunity I don't have a problem with. I think that in a game as varied as Dungeons & Dragons Online, there are ways for you to get like multiple ways to deal with immune monsters. Although I will admit, it can be very frustrating depending on what you're playing. So for example, on my Sorcerer, I just kept, you know, some Sonic spells and blasted through on Fire Sorcerer and didn't really worry about it. But it's a little bit harder on classes that maybe have fewer amounts of spell points. But then also the same token, like, Sorcerers and Wizards get access to Eldritch Knight, which gives you a huge, wide variety of universal spell power. So you can use whatever element that you want, or you can just melee stuff if you really need it. Yeah, I think that in general, for me, immunities are perfectly fine in the game in terms of like the concept that they exist. But I think that the way in which we currently bypass immunities is really boring and doesn't really add much to the game. And it would be cool if they made it a more involved process. You know, like immunity in general, DDOs incentivize item switching for boosting different spell powers. I mean, that's true at the end game. But at the end game, you should have a way to deal with monsters that are like immune. I'm swapping. I hate games that require it. I mean, I don't mind games that require you to have multiple items in your inventory for different situations. I hate games that require you to, on the fly, constantly item swap. Like, that's what I don't like. So the fact that DDO might say, oh, you need an adamantine weapon for breaking something, or for beating a golem down, so you have to have one, I think that's fine, because you're not swapping, like, 3 or 4 times in combat, like, per second. It's just, you sometimes swap your items. Not a big deal. Versus a game like The Lord of the Rings, where on certain classes, before they got rid of weapon swapping, you were weapon swapping between almost every single ability you pressed on the keyboard. So when you're activating with enough attack speed, like, what was it? I think the math was that you were weapon swapping every 1.7 seconds. That's disgusting, and it's too much. And especially in a 10-minute fight. Like, where the button you press the most often is your weapon swap ability, because you're trying to maximize your DPS. Like, yeah, that's annoying, and that's stupid. But having to, like, have a contingency plan is not that big of a deal. And I think it adds something to the game. The takeaway is that it sucks when other classes have it and your class doesn't. So when Druid can just bypass everything cold, but you're playing as Cold Warlock and you can't, then it feels bad because you're missing something. You're missing out. I'm saying that nobody should have that power to just bypass freely without having to think it through. The best spots are little hole-in-type restaurants. Hole-in-the-wall-type restaurants. You know what? I don't think I need a shrine in this quest at all. How do I deal damage to the final boss? Oh yeah, Thunderstroke. The final boss of this quest is immune to all 4th level or lower spells. But I have Thunderstroke and Chain Lightning. I haven't used Thunderstroke yet. I'm excited. Game spell power is trivial. You can just empower maximize SLAs and be 90% of the way there. Also true, yeah.
Arrows shower down from the
Caster, you could just use Tactical Detonation and Arcane Tempest against lightning immune enemies instead of stripping. Yep, but again, I don't actually mind the concept of being able to bypass immunity because it requires you to engage with the game systems. It says, do this thing, and you get your reward. And I have no conceptual issue with the game designers coaxing players into doing something that they might not normally do and changing up the play pattern because it's interesting. Again, a reason why I think the Reaper trees blow, and I don't like them at all, so when they were talking about replacing them with just a line, that's good with me, because the Reaper trees don't change your playstyle, but tier 5 of the Artificer tree does heavily change up your playstyle, because if you're tier 5 of Arcano Technician, now you can bypass lightning immunity, but you have to use the rune arm, so rune arm selection now matters a lot. Instead of just going for, you know, just single target damage, maybe you want a big AoE rune arm to be able to bypass immunity on multiple targets. You have to actually think about how you want to do it, and it impacts your gameplay. And I think that's cool, and it's interesting. Okay, so up here, there are going to be a whole bunch of monsters that are spawning. I'm going to run around and intimidate all of them, and get them to focus on me instead of the giant. Let's stand up here. Go intimidate. Intimidate. I got all these. This guy. I can't cast spells here. But I can eventually get this to be aggro on me from intimidating. Good. Now they're all aggroed on me. I'm going to heal myself so I don't die. And now I'm just going to chill down here. And all I have to do is fight these infected minotaurs whenever they show up. And that's it. And other than that, I just wait. The monsters are going to attack me through the floor, but they can't hit me. The Stormheart Seer is going to passively heal, so it's all good, and I'm done. Final Fantasy XI did it a better way with the million item slots where you could make macros that when they cast a spell, you would swap gear for it, and then after you swap back to the equipment you had on. Yeah, but like I said, I don't mind swapping gameplay for a mechanical reasoning where you need to swap a weapon to let you bypass a mechanic or to do something cool. Swapping because it gives you a more effectiveness of a spell or more DPS. Like, once it becomes like the thing you're doing for optimize, I think weapon swapping for optimization is less interesting than what weapon swapping to react to different situations. If that makes sense. Does that kind of make sense? That's how I think about it. I just don't like weapon swapping as an ability there. You can master it using a shield on a caster already versus rune arm lightning strip. I mean, yeah, I can see that. Like I said, I like the fact that you actually get the decision about how you want to play it, right? You can make the decision that you'd rather have the HP from Reagan Master Maker as opposed to having the lightning strip. That's an interesting decision, and it changes up heavily how you play. If you have to macro a weapon swap, that's some shitty design. Yeah, it is a problem. That's the reason why a lot of games have gotten away from that. Lord of the Rings Online was basically like that. They didn't have macros you could build in for your weapon swapping, but people did used to do stuff like that very heavily. One of the examples was back in the day. So you used to be able to swap any weapon or item in your inventory on the Lord of the Rings Online when the game first started. And so people would swap entire gear sets. So I remember I played with a buddy of mine. He played Guardian, and we would go out into the Memoirs, which is the PvP zone. And he would go out wearing his tank gear. So he would be walking around with his tank gear and have tons and tons of hit points. And in PvP, you usually ignore tanks because they just don't do anything. They just stand around. So he'd run out in his tank gear. So he would get into the middle of the enemy raid. They would all be ignoring him because he doesn't do a whole lot. And then he would hit a macro button on his computer. It would swap all of his gear into the raid DPS gear that he had in his inventory. And then he would just start cleaving everything down and just immediately demolishing all the healers, spellcasters, killing people in one hit. Guardians at the time were heavy into bleeds, so even if you didn't die right away, you were bleeding, and you would now be like on the clock where you have to heal yourself or you're going to die really fast. Because Guardian bleeds used to actually be very good. Currently, the Guardian bleeds are useless, but hey, there was a time where they were not useless. It was very cool.
The crater's large central spire lies beyond the gate.
The mobs that were immune to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning had to strip immunities.
A narrow ramp winds up
they were immune to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning had to strip immunities. I don't. Imagine if they were imagine if that was a thing, so you needed a way to strip that immunity. I mean, yeah, but you can weapon swap. Right, now I'm pretty much just gonna chain cast. Oh, Thunderstroke. 2,500 damage. Isn't Stormsinger cool? Oh, Niram died at level 23. Oh no, that sucks.
And his seers have answers.
R.I.P. dude. Poor guy. Dying at level 23. You hate to see it. Right, now it's time to head back into Gianthold. And hey, whoa. Get out of here. Do Gianthold Tor. But first, I'm going to go grab my house beatles again. ESO weapon swap sucks, but that's different. That's not like weapon swapping with something in your inventory. That gives you two distinct playstyles.
and only
So
death
you may not like the playstyles
bring
and the way the game works,
peace.
but that's not what we're talking about. ESO weapon swapping is completely different from inventory weapon swapping. I'm talking about using your inventory as a spell list, which is what a lot of video games have instead. Where, like in DDO, where you have clickies and you put all your items in your inventory, you're swapping items in combat constantly. Whereas the Elder Scrolls, weapon swapping is a mechanic of combat. You can't change your items in combat, but it's basically giving you options for 2 different weapon styles. So you can have like a bow and as well as 2 weapon fighting, and you can swap between them on the fly for whatever purpose. Whether it's casual play, because it's cool to be able to drop monsters in with a bow, and then once you get into melee, swap into like sword and shield or 2-handed weapon or something. Or alternatively, in actual endgame content where you're very specifically swapping for certain scenarios to maintain buffs and other uptimes of abilities. Yeah, so attack weaving is game killing for you? Yeah, it is pretty boring. I don't like it. Weapon swapping, either DPS or CC unless your class is allowed for weapon swapping. Well, yeah, but that's different. So the Guild Wars 2 thing is the same as the Elder Scrolls. It is a mechanic to enhance gameplay as opposed to like, so some people might not like it, but that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using your inventory as a spell for casting spells, basically. Which is not exactly the same. Frustrated the change to Reaper Trees means I don't get to prioritize survivability stats, get a bunch of melee junk that I don't have with lower points. Yeah, I hope they take some care with it. I'd be frustrated the change to Reaper Trees means I don't get to prioritize survivability stats, a bunch of catch stats with lower points. Wait, did 2 of you type the same thing? Oh, caster junk. Oh, you're fixing it. Gotcha. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. I hope they have some system of prioritization or something logged in with it. I don't know how it's going to work. I hope Dark Apostate gets buffed in the upcoming patch. I want to try a melee build. It's probably not going to get buffed. I think it should get buffed. I think Dark Apostate, generally currently underperforms. I think day 1 it should have been buffed. I think day 1 it should have done a D6 or D8 instead of a D6 as it's imbue, but what are you going to do? Nothing here. Done. Thaumaturgic acid lore. Oh, nothing. Cool. Resonating of radiance lore. Nope. Want that. Boots, I guess. Thanks, buddy. What's the most noteworthy Sylvanas split? I have never played a serious Sylvanas character, so I don't really know that much about it. Apologies. Sheltering 15, but I lose dodge 5. What's my dodge currently? Dodge is 5. I mean, I don't want to give up on dodge 5, but... Poison warded of Intimidate, and all these items. Alright. About D2 weapon swapping. Most weapons kinetic energy and power weapons? Yeah, exactly. That's this spot. That's good. Because they lock it in place. The one real review for your Sylvanas build? Yeah. I mean, to my understanding, is that you need... like at least 6 barbarian and 5 or 6 fighter. Sorry, 5 barbarian and 6 fighter, because then you get all the crit multi. Oh no, not fighter. Sorry, 6 barbarian and you don't need fighter. What do you need? Where do you get the threat range? 8 fighter? I don't know where you get the threat range. Maybe ranger? I'm not sure what the best split is. Oh, I gotta summon my hireling. Yeah, I don't know much about Sylvanas, if I'm being honest. I know you need a religious class, and I know that Barbarian Tier 5 of Frenzy Berserker is the best option. But outside of that, I'm a bit of a loss. I don't want to say you have 20 points, so you get all the Tier 1, but you are able to prioritize the most important tier which you like right now. Well, they're going to be making it so that this whole thing is gone. So the concept of Tier 1 won't exist. It's just going to be a line. And when you level up, it'll be like, you got 5 health. You got whatever.
Now, the giant
The Oaken Soul. Yeah, Oaken Soul's cool. The problem with Oaken Soul is it takes like a million years to get. I think. I actually don't know. I don't have one. So maybe it's actually very easy to get. I don't know. Larafay, do something. Oh, right. I have Snowball Swarm. Duh. Harm healed me for 24k every time when you did it. 24k! Oh, yeah. Yeah. What if you haven't started archaeology? I'll raise my hand. I don't really like grinding in video games, as I said before. Grinding is boring, so I'm probably not going to do that. It's okay. I haven't been playing ESO anyway. Admittedly, the video game that I've probably been playing the most off of stream is I've been playing a bunch of Destiny 2, because the new expansion Lightfall is coming out, and so I'm going to play Lightfall when it comes out. I am probably not going to be playing it day one. I'll probably stream it when I do play it, but I'm probably not going to be playing day one. And the main reason is that it releases on the 28th of February, which is right smack dab in the middle of the DDO anniversary. So it is what it is. But I'll stream it when I get to it. I'm sure I won't miss too much. No gold, but it is also a grind. Yeah. Like I said, I've been enjoying playing some Destiny. It's a fun game. I played through the whole seasonal story. Good story, very good job they did this season. I played through the seasonal mission, which is pretty cool. Or like there's like this exotic mission that you can do. I haven't really done any of these exotic missions before, so I don't really understand exactly how it functions. Like I beat it and I got the gun, so then I have to do. I got like a bunch of other quests that I have to do other things. I haven't done it yet because it's really time consuming. So I'll get to it eventually, but I'm not exactly sure what the next, it's not really clear what the next step is. It just overloaded me. I think it's because I didn't do it week by week. I came to it at the end. So I just literally have like 8 quests from this season in my quest log. And I don't know about you guys, but I get real like quest paralysis in video games where when the game gives me too many different ideas of what to do, I get like mega stressed out. And I'm like, okay, I can't do this, and I have to put the game down. There's just too many things on screen. I don't know what to do, and I just go like, it's too complicated. It's just too complex. Like I can't even parse it. Like my brain immediately shuts down. And that's the reason why I never got into Lost Ark, is because Lost Ark is really cool. Deathblade feels awesome. The PvP was very fun. The actual physical gameplay and the systems, the passive systems, I loved it. It was so fun. Like it's really fun to run around and play. But just logging into the game and seeing that there was like 100 billion things that I was supposed to do constantly, I got really stressed out every time I turned it on, and I was like, I don't want to do this. It's too much for me.
The magical giantish barrier is down.
I don't mind having lots of things that I can do, like giving me the option, but when I just see like a quest log that has like 20 quests on it, I get stressed.
A narrow passage is buried under these rocks.
Probably got a quest, do all the quests until you do the Seraph Shield on Legend and then collect the Exos. I already did the Shield on Legend, though. I don't understand. What do you mean collect the Exos? I don't know what you mean by that.
You find a crevice.
I have like a bunch of quests where I have to repeat some of the operations. So I haven't done any of that yet because each operation's like an hour. So I didn't spend the 4 hours to go regrind all the operations. But I did the mission or whatever on. I already did that on Legendary. Because there was the regular difficulty and then Legendary. And the Legendary took a little bit longer because there was like a bunch of champions that you had to deal with and a bunch of other stuff. But it honestly wasn't that bad. So the island nonsense and grinding the item levels really broke up the flow of the game. Yeah, I can see that. It's not a perfect game. The reason why I stopped playing had nothing to do with the actual gameplay itself, or even like I didn't even get to a tedious or boring part. I literally just got stressed, and I didn't want to play. Like I would just log in and stare, and it would be like, here's the 50 million different tasks you can do today. And I'm like, and I turned it off. Have I played Division 2 or Fallout 76? No, I haven't. A lot of people told me Division is quite good. I have not played. I have not played Division because I don't have a reason. There's too many video games that exist on planet Earth, and there's not enough time in the day. That's probably my reason. There's too many video games. A lot of good ones, though. A lot of very good video games out there. He hates Ubisoft. Is it made by Ubisoft? I do dislike Ubisoft. So that, you know, that tracks. I can see that being a reason why I wouldn't play that game.
Find a crevice concealed
No,
by
I do generally dislike
It
Ubisoft,
is
yeah.
just large enough to crawl through.
Should you accept it? Parts 1 to 4. Last step, it'll ask you to do Seraph Shield and Legend to find a blueprint. Oh, so I have to do the Legend again after doing that? Man, that sucks. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to do the Legend again. The problem with Legendary is it just takes forever. When does Hardcore end? February 7th. Because everything just has way more health on Legendary. That's the only thing that I don't like about it.
Ancient gears.
Ubisoft? Hey man, that new Assassin's Creed game is going to be really good when it comes out. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 41, with even more bugs than the last one. Without cool space magic, you kill dudes in hoodies with rowing guns. Well, that's the other thing too, is like, the reason why I like Destiny is the story is interesting, and also the visuals and gameplay feel. You like fly around with magic and guns. It's really cool. Like, it's a really easy sell on the video game.
Come here to die. The glowing statue breaks.
And blow up the barrels. Oh, dude, the space part took me so long to figure out. I will say, figuring out where to shoot all of the panels is the thing that took me the longest. I think I can do it again faster, but figuring out where to blow up all the panels was the hardest part of the entire mission. Where it's like, okay, go find the one thing to click on. Like, oh god, where is it? Where's the thing I have to click on? I don't know. Is this the quest that gives you dragon scales? This is the quest that gives you dragon scales. I'm on hardcore by myself, so I'm not going to do that, but this is the quest that gives you dragon scales.
There are 3 of them.
Understand it? It does throw a lot at you as well. Like, the reason why I can tolerate Destiny and the amount of things that it throws at you most of the time is because I played it for a long time. But I recently got my brother into it, and he has had that exact experience where he, like, logs in and he has no idea what to do, so he just goes and kills people in Crucible and then stops playing. And I'm like, yeah, fair. Makes sense to me. Final boss for Seraph Shield is basically Deepstone Crypt. Is it? I've never played Deepstone Crypt. But the final boss was really easy. Stand in the thing, expose the shield generators, go kill the shield generators, hit the boss, repeat 3 times. Okay. I need to get more XP. So I think I'm gonna go do some of the quests in the Night Falls on Stormreach chain. So I'm gonna do some of these. You might notice I'm not doing the Necro quest chains. And the reason why I'm not doing those is because they're full of monsters that cast instant kills and negative energy, and I just don't have access to Death Ward on this character, so I'm currently avoiding those things. So that's important. Hates free-to-play players? Yeah. The game is interesting. I would argue that Destiny 2 is a less free-to-play game than DDO. There's not really a lot of content you can do if you're playing for free. As I learned by, like, introducing my brother to the game. You can do almost nothing because the original base game and all that stuff is gone. They haven't made any of the old content really accessible, so you can basically, like, go to Nessus and the Earth, and then that's it. The only upside is that if you do some of the playlists, you can get access to all the content, but yeah, it's kind of weird.
Do me the honor of lighting the street lamps.
Yeah, but then I don't have Lara Faye backing me up.
Oh, this is the best
You just hold
part
off
of the
leveling
day,
for
don't you
hardcore
think?
instead of leveling right away. Leveling right away is a big trap, so leveling right away is a noob trap, so if that's something you do all the time, I apologize. Because some quest ranges have more quests that you like than others. For example, I don't like a lot of the level 15 quests. I like Sharn, but most of the other ones, I don't want to do Tethumar. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to do the Disciples of Sharchain. I really don't want to do Creeping Death. So instead, I hold my levels so I can skip a lot of the quests that I don't want to do. You can hold up to 1 level over, so that's why even though I could take level 17, I'm going to hold it, because you don't want to run out of quests to do and things to do in your character. The reason why I say it's a noob trap is because you can go in this video game all the way up to level 19 before taking level 20. I know, it's weird to say that, but you can. The problem is, if you take level 19, you are now locked out of level 16 and lower quests for the extra bravery bonus. So you have to do 17, 18, and 19. And the quests are level 17, 18, and 19 give dramatically less XP than the quests that are above it. I have no idea why, but the quests that are level 18 and 19 give almost 0 experience points for completing them. As a result, you end up just with like really, really under XP'd characters who just don't have enough to be able to actually do stuff, and you have to do like 300 quests. Whereas if you just stayed level 18, you could do all of the 16s, because there's so many of them. You've got Sharn, you've got Lords of Dust, you've got the new level 16 quest chain that's out there, you've got the Wayloon. All of those are major XP quest chains. Yeah, the Inspired Quarter quests give horrifically low amounts of XP. Also, the quest challenge goes dramatically up. Not just because it's like a higher level, but also it just goes up hugely in terms of the difficulty. The House Caneth quest, the monsters have like 3 to 4 times the health of a regular monster. You're fighting monsters who just have like regularly 5,000 hit points all of a sudden, which is more than the monsters in Epics have. The monsters in level 18 and 19 quests have more health than the level 20 Epic Elite and level 21 Epic Elite quests. They're extremely XP inefficient, and also just an uphill battle. Feeling great? I feel pretty good. I think I need to drink some more water, but that's about it. I've been doing a lot of talking. So that's one of the reasons why you don't usually level up at those ranges, and it's also one of the reasons why I like banking the entire time. It allows me to be more picky and choosy, and also if I'm feeling like doing a quest chain, I can just keep doing that quest chain, which I like. Also, do I have glitter dust? Nope. Oh, silly. Glitter dust is good for those eyes because you can blind them. Kind of dumb design. Yeah, it is. It's literally just super dumb design. Also, any moments where the bosses are like, hey, by the way, I have to monologue real quick, are nice on a bard because I'm getting my mana back.
Holds up his hand, a strange smile on his face. Wait, do you really have no idea?
At least we got Kill 10 Rats. Honestly, great quest name, and the quest was pretty fun. That's the new quest that's coming out in the update. It's free. Kill 10 Rats. Okay, goodbye. Oh, he lived. That was a non-crit for 2,500 damage? That's so silly. It is also sad. Yeah, the Inspired Quarter and Dreaming Dark are very, very important. So, yeah.
A riot has broken out on the streets of the city. Do you hear that? That's the sound of the future. That is the sound of the Age of Rage.
Your Bandit was going back up. What ability is that? It is an ability in the Stormsinger or Spellsinger tree called Spellsong Vigor. It gives you 1 spell point back per second, or 2 spell points every 2 seconds. But whatever, it's the same thing. And so for me, and the way that I use it on this character is I have to wait because these things are immune to lightning. I just have it passively running in the background. It's very useful during the level up process on this character, and it's basically worthless at endgame. So like here, if this quest lasts, like, let's just say 6 minutes, then that is 360 spell points that I got back, because that's 360 seconds, right? So that's pretty cool. I have to actually open this door. However, if quest lasts 6 minutes in epics, and I have 4,000 mana, getting 360 is really not that big of a deal. So it loses a lot of value as you get higher level, but in the earlier levels, it's great. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm currently using it, and why even though I'm playing as a Stormsinger, I'm still using the top of the Spellsinger tree because of the spell song effect. When I get into epics and my spell points go up dramatically, I will be swapping into Stormsinger fully. Is that the only ability like that? Yes, that is. There used to be an ability called Divine Vitality in Cleric, although that was removed from the game. So, yeah. I'm actually going to... do I need Shrine? Nah, I'll be fine. I'll probably be fine. I told people can enter a Reaper quest 6 levels over.
You ring the bell. The doors fly open and guards rush out. For a moment, you're sure
4 levels is just hardcore league.
you notice the fury in their eyes.
It's done, everybody.
Their voices. The enraged guards attack.
Trouble? No, not for me. I can't wait until I get like crit for everything. I get like spell crit on all of my abilities. If I can get lightning spell crit and sonic spell crit and everything, it'll be nice.
Brought down a curse upon the city. A curse that causes
Did they change it? I thought it was 6 always. It might be 4 for heroic and 6 for epic, but I'm pretty sure it's always 6. It is, yeah. I got Shout, I got Horn of Thunder, I got Snowball Swarm, I got Chain Lightning, I got Ball Lightning, Spellsinger Bard, or Stormsinger, pretty good. When the snow event ends? Snow event end February later. February later. 4 heroic, 6 epic. There you go. Yeah, so it's 4 heroic and 6 epic. Summoning of Nullification, Combustion, Strength Dodge, Diversion 9. If only that was Charisma 9. Oh, what an item that would be. What an item that would be. Heroic Cannith. I know Ipsum runs the Heroic Cannith all the time because every time I'm like, I don't know what quest to do, he always pipes into chat and goes, hey, by the way, did you know that you can run, oh my god, I can't even remember the name of the Cannith quest. The one where you have to like, there's like the crystal, the doorway, the schematic where you have to get the schematics. I can't remember the name of the quest. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. He's like, yeah, did you know you can run this one real easy? And then he shows me how to run it real easy, and then I forget about it. Schemes the enemy, thank you. And I completely forget about how he showed me how to do it, and then the next time he just does it again, which is great. Is Dragonborn the best race for Stormsinger? I think if you have the racial points to spend, probably. If you have the racial points to spend, you can be a blue Dragonborn and be very effective. If you don't have racial points, I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to be better, because you do have the -2 dexterity, which can be kind of annoying circumstantially. Yeah. Oh, right. But, like I said, realistically, if you're a Stormsinger, 31 points in Spellsinger and Capstone Stormsinger is where you want to be, which doesn't leave you many points for your racial tree after that. If you have the points for it, it's really good. Did you leave a snow peak just behind? I didn't see one. So maybe. Did I buff Lara Faye? Give her mana? No, I didn't. I'm so rude. Here, you just want to kind of hole up in this door. Kind of chill here. I like doing power play. It's not that bad. The gimmick wears off real fast. I also agree, especially when you accidentally like die because you run into like or you drop a bomb and then the door locks right next to you and you're like, well, I guess I gotta either restart the quest or hope that there's somebody who can raise me.
With the help of the mist, you've managed to subdue all the rioters in the plaza. The way is now open.
Step over schemes. You just hold W as you walk through and solve the puzzle at the end. Oh, sorry. I was reading something. I got distracted. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes something comes up and your brain is like, oh, I gotta pay attention to this. Do I have any interesting insights about this character involving this quest? Or this series of quests? Not really. Just hit the monsters. Also, you have to make sure you kill stuff. So in a lot of cases, I will oftentimes leave monsters behind. You don't have to kill everything, and on a spellcaster, you really should embrace that kind of sentiment, because you're going to run out of spell points if you try to kill every single monster you come across, especially if you don't let them group up. But in quests like this, where you have to kill every single monster, you have to always be mindful about that fact. Any meme builds planned? Did you miss yesterday's playthrough of Caster Ranger? It sounds like you missed yesterday when I played Caster Ranger. A build I'm definitely bringing to the regular servers. Yep, Spike Road. The old Nuker Ranger. It did function. I was clearing epic elites. I was clearing heroic elites. I probably could have cleared Reaper, but I didn't want to deal with the problem of self-healing on Reaper on a Caster Ranger. I'm gonna have to shrine here, so I'm actually worrying about how I spend my spell points. Never cleared Vision Destruction. That's true, I did not do that. With the new archetype? Yeah, with the Dark Hunter. Important note, Dark Hunter is not a spellcaster. Dark Hunter is not a spellcaster. I cannot reference enough that Dark Hunter is not a spellcaster. It is not a spellcaster. It's not a spellcaster. Dark Hunter is not a spellcaster. It is a melee. Which is what makes it so fun. Alright, Larafay, let's shrine up. Let's relax. Oh, she does understand. She's shrining. Nice. I think you should TR your racial completion. Oh, no, she didn't shrine? Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha. Thought she did, but she's like, yeah, I actually didn't want to shrine today. She didn't. Very cool. Oop. There we go. She's got her immunity to poison, which is nice. Yeah, your racial vision to cast rangers to the full potential. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but I like your vigor.
Beyond the secret
I'm just
door
gonna
is
make
a drow
some
matching the-
capicola. Capicola.
That's the drow's tail.
Some ham.
Will lead to a way to
More ham. Caster Ranger only needs weird. And hey, I did bring that up to the developers. I said, hey guys, you know what? It's kind of weird. Weird's not on the spell list. Just saying, I can't get weird on my Caster Ranger, and I think it would make the character better exclusively. Not ham, glad it's made from pork shoulder. I don't know what the meat is called. Is ham not the animal that comes from a pig? A porcine animal? It produces ham and you eat it? Like, I know that there is a difference between a ham and a bacon and other pieces, but like, you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm a city guy. I go to the store, I buy the products that are at the store in the package that has the name of the package on it. I don't know the distinction.
This secret door reveals a small,
It's all the same thing to me.
It seems there may be some sort
Look at that
of
ham.
connection between the scorpion
Delicious.
and the madness caused by the curse.
Ham comes from pig, but it's back leg rump area, prime area. I see what you're saying. Well, again, you caught me in a situation where I know nothing about this subject. The derivations of different meat products, I couldn't tell you anything about. Oh, goodbye, Throbos. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit you for 2,500 damage without a critical strike? Because I didn't critically strike. Makes me sad. I really wanted to critically strike, but I didn't. I need to buy it. It's fine. Watch more good eats. I mean, I did watch a lot of cooking shows back when I used to live at home. So I was like 18. I watched the Food Channel all the time. Used to watch I watched pretty much every single show that came on. It's fun. Watching cooking shows is kind of fun. But the things I did learn is like the methods, so how you do stuff. So sometimes I will like read a recipe and I can already like, my hands will already sort of know where to go when I start working on something in the kitchen. What I did not stick is the terminology. The words that you use to describe stuff, complete nonsense. It's all gone. Hey man, look, I've got nothing bad to say about Alton Brown. I think he's still doing good eats. He's the good eats guy, or is it somebody else? But still, nothing bad to say about him. Just don't watch the show. That's all. Okay, most people are the opposite. Oh yeah, but that's just stupid internet videos. I can retain any fact from a stupid internet video. It would be good for this quest. Spike growth? True. If only there was a way for Bard to get spiked growth. I don't know how they do that, or how they could do that, but that would be ideal. Oh, get destroyed with mass hold, monster, everybody. Okay, so in this quest, we're trying to find Brawn Pits. The last quest was pretty straightforward. Didn't really have a lot to say about it. This quest, we were trying to find him. You can only spawn in a few places, and with Dimension Door, we can skip a whole bunch of nonsense. So first, I checked up here, and he's not here. Now I want to kill the scorpion. There is like a big mama scorpion that's around here somewhere, so I'm going to go find it and kill it to get its horn. Because you only have to do one of the optionals. You have to get one of the ingredients, and it is somewhere over here. It may have actually been up here. I might have already killed it, so I don't know. There it is. Mother Scorpion. It is a Vernus Battle Rager. Awesome. I love it. Vernus Battle Ragers have the ability to make themselves immune to crowd control entirely. And they can burrow. And they do double damage right now. That's cool. And it has evasion! This thing has evasion?
The Scorpion fought valiantly to you take the stinger. Reflecting on the deep
It is the Scorpion. Whatever. I don't even care.
And their courage.
Why do they do evasion? Are you going to do Toxic Treatment? No, probably not. Now we're looking for Brawn Pits again. He could be up here, and he is in fact up here, so we're good. If Brawn Pits is not up here, he's way over on this side of the map, somewhere over on the left side, at which point you just walk over there, cast Dimension Door, get back to the start, and then you're all done. But no, I'm not going to solo Toxic Treatment. I probably could, but it's really risky, and I don't see the need to do that. I also don't need a single item from that quest. Is this thing immune to electricity? It is, but it shouldn't be. Alright, let's go clear off his camp. Lettuce-induced injury? Any physical therapy? Yeah, I had to go get a shot. It's going away. I'm feeling better already. I'm feeling better already. Likes the old muscles. Yeah, so I'm on soup. I'm still eating my damn vegetables, but I'm on soup now. Oh, Demon's Den on Elite. Yeah, you mean the quest that's full of monsters that constantly cast Dispel Magic on you and Disintegrate back to back? Yeah. Should live in Ottawa. If you were close to our house, you could end up very, very fat. True. But yeah, but like fat and happy, you know what I mean? Think about like a king. Fat and happy.
Lay down on the bed of furs.
Pretty rat.
Perhaps oblivion will take you for a spell, if you can just get past the anger that boils within.
Also solo, what a great quest. Yeah, I know, isn't it amazing? You need 3 people to like kill the different genies at the same time because they can't get too far from where they spawn or else they reset, and then you have to kill the boss in the middle. It's such a nightmare. No, I'm pretty sure they changed it. Because like I said, all of the monsters, if they get too far away, they reset, and there's not enough time to walk in between all of them. Also, goodbye utility. For this area, I'm just going to kill everybody, so I'm going to cast my buffs. I already have Maximize turned on. And everybody dies. Which is literally just casting all of my air effect spells as quickly as I physically can on the keyboard. And just doing as much AoE damage as I can. I don't care about how much mana I'm spending, so I'm just going to spend all the mana in the world. You also don't have to kill this guy. On R10, we used to not kill this guy because he had too much health back in the day. And so you would just, like, once you kill everything, you would leave Baylor in, just chill and ignore him, and then loot the chest and get out. Oh, I got the Wild Flame! Evocation Focus! Oh, this is a cool item. Actually, you know what? This is better than my Orb. because my orb gives me Resonation, which is not better than my potency, and it's evocation 2, and this gives me evocation 3. So even though I can't use any of the fire stats, it's actually better. So I'm going to dual wield. It's really stupid. Technically, I could use it because I have Fiendish Arpeggio, but as I said, because I just played the Tiefling Scoundrel for the music, I'm not going to be using Arpeggio.
Hello Eltrim, Brian here. I apologize, but I threw my headphones onto my Dark Wolf, which is part of a Warlock sacrifice, and jumped out of the 46th story of the iteration of this joke.
Okay.
God knows Chris loves this joke. Can you please explain what Dark Hunter is not and why you should abandon all preconception about Dark Hunter and become the 100% best DPS build, Caster Ranger? I'll give you a moment before you answer.
Okay, so I can thank you for your thoughtful consideration about informing me about what's going on in your life. So Dark Hunter is not opening a jar. That it just isn't that. There are a lot of things that Dark Hunter is, but it is not opening a jar. That can be confusing because a lot of people do open jars semi-regularly, so you might think that those two ideas are related. You go to the fridge, there's a jar, there's something in it. You don't know what it is, but you open the jar. Sometimes you close the jar. And it's just not related to Dark Hunter. That's just not what Dark Hunter is. So I hope that kind of helps. You know, so the next time you head over to the fridge, crack and open a jar, and you go, wait a minute. This isn't Dark Hunter. You now know, and you have that information. You can use that information in the future, and I'm selling away Quarantine. So again, that is hopefully helpful to you, and something that is useful in the future, because it's definitely not opening a jar. Opening a jar is a totally different thing than Dark Hunter, yeah. Do I want to do any other 14s? I'm curious as to how Grim and Barrett will go, because it's not hard, and it's full of Abishai. So yeah, I'll do that. Good idea. Yeah.
Is Dark Hunter Caster Ranger opening a jar of Whoopass?
No, it's definitely not doing that either. Is Dark Hunter a half gallon of hot sauce? As somebody who currently is in possession of a half of a gallon of a sauce, no. Alright. Let's try Grim Barrett. Gallon jug of Frank's Red Hot. Yeah, I got a half gallon of Cholula. Sent to me by horse. I actually have something else that was sent to me. It was addressed to Eltrim. And it was complicated because the package says Eltrim, Eltrim 69, Eltrim, Eltrim 69. That's literally just what it says on the package. That's all it says. And so it was very awkward because the delivery person needed me to sign. And they were like, this is addressed to Eltrim, Eltrim 69. And I'm like, yep, that's me. And they're like, okay, is this a business? Is this a person? And then I had to explain myself to the delivery person who did not understand. So thank you for giving me that opportunity to be able to explain myself to the delivery guy who just really wanted to get on with his day and couldn't, which is good. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using this ability, Soundburst, I actually don't need to Soundburst these monsters. I am Soundbursting the blue Abishai, though, because if you don't kill it, it goes invisible, and then it's really annoying to find. TikTok is crazy, man. Yeah, good idea. Chain lightning. Chain lightning. It's TikTok. It is what it is. It's an internet thing. Alright, get this guy. No, I can't. 25 hundo damage. I'm gonna use all my spell-like abilities. All my hireling damages them. This is expensive, but it does a lot of damage though. Not gonna lie. It's a sex thing. Yeah, that would get him to walk away. Sorry, it's what? It says Eltrim. Is that you? Yeah, it's a sex thing. Yeah, it's a sex thing. It's, what? Can you explain that? I can't, but it is a sex thing. Sorry, that's what it is.
Just ask, and I will come.
Lieutenant Rim? No, I don't know. I don't want to deal with that problem. Anyway, I'm going to open it later, but I have it here.
A hum of powerful magic.
I have to actually take off the sticker that has my address on it before I put it in front of the frame. Either they won't want to know, or they will really want to know. True. And I don't know which is worse. They don't want to know, so like I tell them like about some weird sex thing, and they're not even like tangentially interested, which means like how boring am I? Or they really want to know, and I'm stuck in this like situation that I don't really want to be in. Important note: if you hear the sounds of sick guitars, the sick guitar comes from the Stormsinger. If you're wondering why I'm casting Mass Hold, it's because these monsters have lower will saves than fortitude saves, and so Mass Hold monsters going to work more often than the alternative. It keeps them all in place so they all die, and then it also means I do more damage to them. It's important to note that when it comes to the damage on the spells, or like the Mass Hold, this is when DDO dropped into the era of packs of guys. We are still mostly in the era of packs of guys. We're starting to leave. But this quest, I think, was late 2015, early 2016, and it was the era of packs of guys where every single quest, and almost every single monster in every single quest, was just dropped in the center of, like, somebody just grabbed the monster selection tool and just dropped the monsters in the middle of the room. So you just have these hallways and areas where there are just huge packs of monsters. Slave Lords is an example of this, and this quest entire chain is an example of this. There's a lot of monsters, and they're just standing around in the middle of rooms with no reason for why they should be there. And so you just whip around the corner, AoE them, and move on. For AoE spellcasters, it is amazing, and the era of packs of guys has been going on for a long, long, long time. So, you've been able to get yourself easy clears for quests. Now, I actually do need to shrine, because I've been holding the monsters very often. What'd you stumble into? I don't know. Hey, Stream, is Horizon Walker worth buying? It is the best tree in the game for ranged characters. So if you like playing bow characters, Horizon Walker is the best thing in the game. If you don't like bow characters, I don't really recommend buying Horizon Walker. What makes Horizon Walker so good? It gets, for any class that isn't a ranger, you get access to the tier 5, which gives you a huge bonus to your Archer's Focus, so you get extra Archer's Focus stacked. It also gives critical threat range and multi for bow characters. The debuff that it applies to bosses is extremely useful, because it reduces monsters' armor class and fortification and saving throws and other nonsense. And it gives you extra uses of many shot, which heavily increases your burst damage potential, like doing 5,000 damage to this guy. Burst damage potential. You are in hardcore server? I am in hardcore server. This is the Hardcore League, and I hope my character doesn't die, but it doesn't seem like it's going to.
Are you telling me we are leaving the era of 5 guys in DDO Peepo Fat?
That's correct, yeah. You know what? They've been expanding a lot, 5 guys, and open up at a lot of new restaurants, but they're actually going to be curbing their expansion, and they're not going to be placing any 5 guys in Stormreach. I know. It's upsetting. But yeah, no more 5 guys in Stormreach. They're out. What are you going to do? Deal with that, I guess. I know, it's very sad. Went to 5 guys the other day and tried the hot dog. It was pretty good. That's the thing. It's a really good hot dog. I'm going to take level 17. If you learn anything from watching the solo bard play guide, what you should learn is that the 5 guys hot dog is pretty good. That's basically the only takeaway I want most people to get out of this. Everything else that I say doesn't matter. Also, I'm taking Glitter Dust. Some of you might not know why. The reason why you take Glitter Dust is because if it blinds a creature, specifically the eyeballs, they instantly die, and it's just useful as a utility, so you can just Glitter Dust the eyeballs when they pop up. I think my character can also get Sleet Storm and do the same thing. But then I have to give up one of these level 3 spells, and I don't want to give up any of them, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to spend points in my trees. I could just take crit. Electric and cold crit is not that bad. I think I might skip out on the crit though and just grab 9 universal spell power, or grab the bypass. Are there resistant things? I'm going to Sharn. Are there resistant things? I don't know. So I'm going to take the bypass. I think that's useful. More useful than the crit, at least right now. A really good burger place? No, that's just it. Yeah, don't need 5 guys. The 3 guys are open Nashville hot chicken restaurants. Oh, man. Nashville hot chicken? That sounds delicious. That does sound better than getting some 5 guys. Burger Coin Lords. Could you imagine? That would be great. What if there was a restaurant called Burger Lords and it just had like a bunch of people in nobles outfits on the top of the restaurant? Dave's Hot Chicken. All right. It gave me an ad already for the new crowd feed boxes. Let's click menu. I don't care about the story. Okay, they got Dave's 1, tendies with fries. Dave's 2, sliders with fries. Dave's 3, tender and slider. And Dave's 4, 1 slider with fries. Sick. It looks good. daveshotchicken.ca. Oh my god, where is this? Locations. There's 3 of them in Toronto, dude. I don't live in Toronto. But they're actually not that far apart either. Deer Park, South Riverdale, and Sunnyside. That's honestly not that far from each other. Live in York, it's a bit of a trek. There's 3 in Toronto? Damn, dude. Dave's Hot Chicken. Yeah, well, I'm not driving for 5 hours to get a chicken sandwich. Actually, into the city of Toronto, which is where you have to go, means it's like 7 hours, because Toronto traffic's madness. Are there any new things in the Snowpeaks vendor that are not the vendor rewards? No. I forgot about 5 hours. You used the card? Yes, I did. I got some 5 guys. It was very good. I'll be right back. Although I admittedly didn't get the hot dog. I got a burger with some Cajun fries and it was really good.